Font walks into a bar. Bartender says we don't serve your time.
What? A font walks into a bar. Bartender says we don't serve your type. Why? Why is it gotta be racist? Also, thank you so much, Catadome, for the resubscription for Chains. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much, Hollow Soul. Thank you for resubscribing. Thank you, Kizoda, for the minis. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Hello. Day. What? What? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Hello. How are you guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic, fantabulous freaking day. It is Monday. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My dad made fun of the song "Walk Like an Egyptian." He rearranged the lyrics and said "Walk with an erection." Why? Why would you do that? Why would he do that? Actually, okay, let's go down the line and let's say hello to everybody. Hello. Hello, Brain. Hello. Hi, Kizdota. Hello. Hi, Dr. Shaky Jones. Hello. Hi, Samson. Hello. Thank you so much for the 75 stream streak. That's crazy. Thank you so much, Samson. Hello. Meet. Hello, Chains. Hello. Hello, Holland Soul. Hello. Hi, Grizz. Hello. Hi, Weeman. Hello. Hi, Kizdota. Hello. Hi, Looney Tooney. Hello. Hi, Corla. Hello. Hi, Mixmaster. Hello. Hi, Heart. Hello. Hi, Deadly Mouse. Hello. Hello. Hi, Wuzzpupper. Hello. Hi, Ark. Hello. Thank you so much for the 55 stream streak. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Ark. Hello. How are you doing? Hello, Pix. I'm writing smut inducing mezcal shots. You know what? That sounds like a good fucking time. I ain't even gonna lie. That kind of sounds like a fucking mood. Thank you, Looney Tooney, for the 20 stream streak. Thank you. Hello. Hello, Paladin. Hello. Hi, Demolition Dude. Hello. Caught me watching Red Skeleton, one of the best comedians of all time. Ooh. Hi, Smy. Hello. Day, I finished My Hero Academia. Besides the movies, I'm gonna watch one of them tomorrow, but I loved it so much. Top 3 shows ever, including live action, and all my ships are cracked or golden. You know what? Fair enough. I'm glad that you liked it. I wouldn't go, listen, I love My Hero Academia. I really do love My Hero Academia. To say it's in my top 3 shows ever, nah. I love it, but not that much. You know what I mean? I'm like, listen, it's good, but comparatively, there's so much. Hello, girl. Hello. Tricks is good. Tricks are for kids. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm sorry I wasn't here on Saturday. I took Saturday off because I kind of just needed a little bit of a mental break. But yesterday we watched Lord of the Rings. I'm going to get that uploaded today. All 3 reactions into one file so that way you guys can react or you guys can watch my reactions to that. But hello, I hope you guys are having a good day. Just dropping in to say hello, hanging with my parents, and play games with friends, so I can't stay, unfortunately. Have a good stream, and chats keep being beautiful. Bye, Dark. Thank you so much for coming in for a bit. Hello. Supernatural is better, to be honest. Supernatural is pretty good. Death Note, if you want a better anime. Death Note is also really good. Anime and shows don't make me cry, but My Hero Academia made me cry. That's fair. I mean, listen, it's all for your perspective and what comes in for you. So I get it. I'm trying to figure out if I should go with the living Ona Hole approach or the fairy characters in my story. Are you asking for recommendations? Oh, still got that edit I made of your first Tamagotchi stream? Oh, yes. Yes, we will watch that today. Couldn't watch Lord of the Rings, but was barbecuing with the family. I'm sorry. Don't worry, we're gonna be putting it out on a drive so that way you guys can watch it, and then we're going to be switching it over to Patreon after a month, so that way everybody who donated for the reaction can see it for a certain amount of time, and then we're gonna put it on a Patreon instead. Fuck, I miss Lord of the Rings. You did. I was making announcements of it all week. I'm sorry. I like Witch Hunter Robin a lot, and somehow no one has ever heard of it. I don't think I've watched that. I'm gonna be honest. I cried at the final Toga and Uraka scene, like I was really moved. That is a really moving moment for sure. Posted a clip for Layer. It's hilarious, and my introduction to Red Skeleton. Okay. Onahole. What's a Onahole? Well, as an expert, you might have suggestions. It's on...
Thank you very much, Sign.
Oh my gosh, C1! Thank you so much for resubscribing! Hi, Day! Hello! Hope you and the Shimis have been doing great. Yes, we're doing good! How are you, C1? Hello! I hope you're doing well. I missed you. It's one of the 3 ways I've read it to be approached. Since we hate fairies here, own a hole in degradation and Dom. I hope you at least post the reaction to part 3 day. I am. I'm gonna be posting the reaction to all 3. So, the first, the second, and the third. So they're all gonna be posted tonight. Once I get everything uploaded. So yes. Also, I am gonna be making a little bit of an announcement. About this already, but I will be in California for a lot longer than I expected. So my grandparents are going to be doing renovations to their house, and that is where I'm currently staying. And so because they're doing renovations to my area of the house, I will not be able to be here while they're doing renovations. So I don't know if I'll be in Cali for a month, 2 months, 3. I have no idea. I'll be honest, I have no clue. So I will keep you guys updated, but I am gonna have to take all of my stuff to California. Be safe. California is sketchy. It's not bad. Don't worry about it. I've lived in California all my life. So I'll be fine. Hi, this is my first time watching your stream. I saw you from your Skibidi Toilet videos. How are you? Hello! I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Onohole is Japanese for flesh hole, so using a chick for fucking and nothing else. Guys, the last stream we had was a Christian stream. The last thing we did was a Christian stream. Why we gotta talk about this shit? Why we gotta discuss what this is? Why? Why are we doing this? Why? Pick the worst time of year to come home. It's getting hot as fuck. Actually, I'm currently living in Arizona, so it's kind of better if I'm in the summer in California than I would be here in Arizona. You asked because they brought it up first. I just asked. I didn't know what it was. I am way more upset about missing Lord of the Rings than I probably should be. Oh, John, I'm sorry. Brain's the one who had to say it in detail. Exactly. It was a rhetorical question.
I was at a restaurant, and the waiter asked if I wanted a box after I'd finished. I said, sure, you can box me for my leftovers.
Hi, CEO of Sexism. Thank you so much for the 245 minutes. I appreciate it. Also, you know what? Fair. You know what? Yeah, I've had similar situations. Last stream was a Christian stream, so we have to make up for a day. No! And the fact they were talking about smut didn't tip you off. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. I'm trying my best. Yes, I know your last stream was a Christian stream. That's why I had to corrupt this one like a good heathen. You guys are fucking terrible, bro. Because your Twitch chat is a Slanesh cult. I'm over here on YouTube waiting to do Korn's work. Gosh damn it, guys. Are y'all always just waiting for chaos? Chaos and destruction? Must you? Must you be this way? Goodness gracious. Look, Slaanesh has some good selling points. It does. It really does. Can I be Linda too? Yes, all of chat is Linda. Every chatter, I may not know your real names, but all of you are Linda. We're all chaotic goobers. Apparently, I mean, I just got here. Listen, okay. So, there's been a lot of people that have been following me recently because of the Christian stuff, and I do appreciate it a lot. I will say I'm kind of nervous. Right? There's a reason why I didn't talk about my faith a lot. Mainly because I want this to be a very open area where people, like, can feel comfortable with whatever like subject that they want to talk about or listen to and stuff like that. I want my community to be very open and understanding and kind to one another, no matter like our differences, and stuff like that. However, right? I am Christian and I do believe in that, and I am not ashamed of my faith in any way, shape, or form. You know, like I'm just not ashamed of it. But my biggest worry is there has been some people who have kind of looked at me and been like, you're not Christian because you don't act like this. And so I'm just like, oh, wait, I never said I was perfect. There's a reason why I'm not a pastor or I'm not like doing anything like that, you know, but like also, I'm trying my best, man. I try my best. It's just been weird. It's been a weird battle of like things. A lot of like, I even get a little nervous, around some people that I've been interacting with lately, and I never saw cussing as a problem, cause I cuss like a sailor, like you guys fucking know how I am, and the people they feel very like they feel very against cussing, and I'm like, I get it, it's a respect thing, and like if you're not comfortable with me cussing around you, I won't. I know how to hold myself back. But it feels weird. It feels weird. That's as much as I'll say about that. It just feels weird. I feel weird when I'm being told I shouldn't cuss. You know, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. It feels icky. It feels icky to me. So y'all don't have to yell. You're not a lewd-tuber. I feel like we might have one or two schizo from the religious stuff. It's gonna be interesting. Schizo? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, would you look at that? A lot of time here with the Pixie. Thank you, James, for 110 stream streak. Thank you. I'm Methodist. I listen to metal, play D&D. 3.5. Half of my DVDs are horror, drink, and I haven't been to church because I do not stay. Yeah, tell them there hasn't been a perfect Christian since Christ himself. The point of the path isn't to walk perfectly in Christ's steps, but to try our best to follow behind him, even when we struggle. True. Day, are you good? Do you need a hug? I would love a hug, actually. I would love a hug. Look, cussing is a smaller sin than pride. Nux cusses a lot, and he's super religious. Yeah. Hi, Grandma. 1 second, guys. Okay. Shit. I kind of fucked this up. There we go. Can you guys still hear me good? Sup, Day? Hi, Snowman! will say this as like I guess a preface to anybody that's new here, that's new to the community, that's followed me because of my Christian path. I do apologize in advance, but I am not a say-so VTuber per se. I do cuss a lot, and I have fun cussing, and I enjoy it. So I'm not gonna stop. So yeah. I'm just putting that out there. I don't think I'm gonna stop cussing, not until I have kids of my own. So just letting that be known, so that way we're all on the same page, and I'm not feeling guilty. So every time you cuss, we throw bricks, right? I mean, you guys can if you guys want to use it as a form of like holding me accountable, but like fuck you for that. That's gonna be a lot of bricks. We're all on our own journey with Christ, all starting at different places. Let's be gracious to each other. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, what the fuck? Just remember, there's a lot of paths that leads to Christ. Oh, absolutely. So, just letting you know. It's a thing. Look, if you're gonna cuss, just remember that you're gonna have to bleep it out for YouTube. No, I know. Okay, and that's another thing that's kind of making me think maybe I should limit my cussing just for the sake of, I'm gonna have to bleep that a lot on fucking YouTube, Throw bricks for only cussing. I'll do it anytime I want, okay? Oh, damn. Say it with your chest. Let he who is without sin cast the first brick. Y'all are terrible. Watch Twitch violate ya. Who is without sin cast the first stone. Yeah, seriously. It's alright to cuss on stream, but on YouTube for the algorithm, you might want to bleep. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's so hard. Assholes. Don't limit the cussing, make the bricks more expensive. Seriously. Yeah. Whoa. What the hell? 1 John 1:8. If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. Romans 3:23 through 24. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and all are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus. Amen.
Thank you very much,
yes.
Sign.
Oh, Jamesy, thank you so much for resubscribing. Also, would you look at that? A whole year with you and the team, and I couldn't have asked for a better group of friends. I love you, James. Thank you so much for being my friend, and thank you as well for resubscribing. I appreciate you. I can't believe it's been a whole year. I actually was thinking about this the other day. And I was just like, dude, it's so crazy how much has happened within the last year or so. So much stuff has happened, and I'm just like, wow, it's crazy. Also, a huge thing, before we skip on to everything, I also want to say to anybody that is a veteran, that anybody that is currently serving in the military right now, or has family in the military, or anything like that, thank you guys so much for your service. I greatly appreciate you. And remember to give everybody a hug. Love on all of our soldiers today, because they deserve it. And my grandpa's brother, he was in the military. He got drafted for World War II, right? And then, no, was it World War II? I'm not sure. Might have been for World War II, actually. And then my uncle, who has unfortunately passed away, he actually was in the military for a long time as well, and served in Vietnam. And then, I have family friends who are in the military, and, my heart goes out with them. I have friends that are in the Navy, in the military, like in, and also like everywhere else. So, what years did he serve? If you know, I don't know for sure, to be honest. I just know there was a draft, and so my grandpa's brother got drafted for that war. So I'm not really sure. He was like the last ones. For your grandpa's brother that you aren't sure about, I can't remember. I just know he did serve in the military for a long time, and so he went down that path, but he was drafted and then decided to stay in the military after he was there for a little bit. My dad was in the Navy. Thank you for tell him thank you for his service, of course. Also, hello, yeah, nice day. I'm doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. Welcome in, First Time Chatter. I appreciate you. Welcome. My grandpa was a Marine during Vietnam, and my dad was also a Marine. He was an armor. Ooh. Surprised no activist assholes came up with a modern holiday to overshadow Memorial Day. Well, here's the thing. Today, a lot of VTubers, this kind of made me side-eye the VTuber community, right? I don't know, but a lot of VTubers, rather than posting for, like, Happy Memorial Day, they were posting, like, Happy National VTuber Day, you know? And to me, that's disgusting. That's so fucking disgusting. It's so gross. It's so gross. I saw a lot of VTubers posting like, oh, it's National VTuber Day, yay! I'm like, you know what it actually is? It's Memorial Day, you know? Yeah, that just felt disrespectful. I didn't see that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that today, and I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like, just to be honest, I get more and more disgusted with the VTuber community the longer I stick around and the longer I pay attention. You know, mainly because I feel like a lot of VTubers are just outwardly disrespectful to soldiers and outwardly disrespectful to religion and outwardly disrespectful to like America in general of things, you know? And yes, I understand that there's nothing perfect within any of these things. There's the military, it's not perfect. Religion, it's not perfect. Our country is not perfect. It's just you should be respectful. At the bare minimum, be respectful. Be respectful of others. I think that's very common practice. Treat others how you want them to treat you. I think that is a very common sense take, you know? And a lot of people are asking me like, Day, why did you want to talk about Christianity and your faith, right? And I didn't really bring this up at the time because I was still trying to make sense of my feelings of everything, you know? But the reason why I decided to bring up Christianity and my faith is because I saw a lot of VTubers that I enjoyed and that I liked start to shit on people that are Christian. And I am not ashamed of my faith. I am not ashamed of being Christian. I'm not ashamed of that. That is not a reason why I don't bring it into my streams as often, you know? And so I saw it as a moment where I need to actually stand 10 toes down in my beliefs and in my faith. Because I think it's very disgusting and gross that the VTuber community, like a lot of VTubers, have decided to go super against, like, people and just been, like, straight up just rude and disrespectful. It's fucking disgusting. That's why I want to, like, preface today, like, today, Memorial Day, is to honor all of our fallen soldiers, all of the people that are currently in service. Like, we should be respectful. I'll celebrate Memorial Day with you guys, and I'll invite you to celebrate Remembrance Day in November. Also, of course, they disrespected a lot of VTubers, EN1s on Twitter at least, are activists, sorta. And I think that's disgusting. Honor the ones that gave the greatest sacrifice. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? People that are serving in the military, give up so much of themselves for us, you know? The only reason I'm able to be here, to be a streamer right now, to be able to pick my own life, like, there are so many beauties of America, at least, and I'm saying this as like an American, right? I'm sure every other person that lives in a different country has their own type of, I would say, like, country pride, but I'm gonna be prideful of my country for a second and just say I have the freedom that I have because of each and every single one of our soldiers. They fight for us on a regular basis, and I appreciate them with all of my heart and soul. I've seen how hard the military can. I've seen how bad the military can, like, mess you up. You know what I mean? And I just am like, ugh. My uncle, rest in peace. He, like I said, served in Vietnam, and he did a lot of things that he wasn't necessarily proud of. But when he got out of the military, that led him to a life of drugs, right? And he became a very bad and different person. And it's because he couldn't turn off a lot of the PTSD that he had from war. And it's not easy. A lot of people brush it under the rug. Like, it's not an easy task. So I want everybody to understand that here in this channel, in this stream, we are going to be respectful to all soldiers. You know, both of my grandpas served in the Korean War. That's crazy. As while it's possible to celebrate multiple at once, they expect you to prioritize one over the other. Exactly. My grandfather served in Pearl Harbor after the attack. He made his engagement ring in the machine shop there, which I wear in memory. He never talked about it. Aww. Yes, sadly, during the Vietnam times, there weren't really programs that helped with veterans. Yeah. Great grandpa served World War II and had a Bronze Star and Purple Heart and a picture for the Yankees. He was a G. Even the level of freedom many of us have now, can't take it for granted. Exactly. Hey, Day, can we do a fat electrician video for today? I was thinking of it, to be honest. I was wanting to do Pocopia because I was, like, to be honest, yesterday it was an 8-hour stream and I'm really tired today. So if you guys really want a fat electrician, we'll do it. We'll run a poll real quick to see if you guys want Pocopia or if you guys want fat electrician. I will say I don't know how much energy I'll have if we do fat electrician. But I do want to be mindful of everything. So we're gonna do a quick poll real quick. Hold on. Pocopia. There we go. It seems a lot of people think that soldiers choose the wars we fight when that's far from the truth. They're just the ones with the courage to defend our country, not the ones who decide where we do. Honestly, it's hard not to. You can see a lot of evil, and if evil exists, good must. It's quiet. Oh, sorry. Am I louder now? Are we good? What fat electrician video do you want to watch? I'm not sure. We'll see. Just curious, you consider your uncle a hero for serving in the Vietnam War? I consider him a hero to me, yes. But I will say he was a very troubled man, and my thoughts on my uncle are just very different because you have to understand what drugs and addiction will do to you and who you become after that. It's hard. It's really hard and it's really difficult, and it takes a lot out. It takes a lot out on your family, and my uncle did some not so great things in his life, but he was a very troubled man, and I do hope that he's resting in peace. If we do a fat electrician guy, can I send a video to you that you would love? I don't know if we'll do that one, but you could send it to me. My grandfather served in Alaska during the Korean War as a Sherman tank mechanic. Also, hi Raul. Hello. Or the War Dog video. Heck, many soldiers enlist without expecting to actually go into the battlefield or help with a war, but there's always the chance. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I will always say, like, I am very proud and happy to live in America, and I love being in America. I think that should be less, I think that should alone be less of a fucking issue to say. Like, I hate that so many people, when they're asked, do you like living in America? And, like, everyone's like, well, it's a flawed country, so, I don't know, I think there can always be change. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm so happy to live in America. Okay, it seems like everybody wants Fat Electrician today. Okay. The War Dog video from 3 weeks ago is a pretty good one to watch. Yeah, we'll look at them and we'll see what we're gonna do. We'll take a look. We'll take a gander. But we'll watch some Fat Electrician today. It serves the mood. It serves the mood. My grandpa joined just to eat. He had 7 brothers and sisters. The family was pretty strapped and poor. And that's the thing, you know. I think that's why I find it disgusting when you see so many streamers and so many just, I guess, entitled people, you know. You'll see so many entitled people just, like, dragging soldiers through the mud and being like, oh, well, if you didn't want to get criticized, then, like, why the hell, like, would you join the military? Like, you don't understand. So many people have no idea what's coming after them, what's coming to them in life after they graduate high school. I am proud to be American, where I can be with you, all of you. Same. You really can't go wrong with any of his vids, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna do one of these videos. So we'll decide together. We'll decide together. We'll browse through it together. But I love being American. I love being an American, and I'm grateful. And here's the thing, you know, a lot of people will look at me and be like, well, you're Mexican. I'm not Mexican. I'm technically American. But you have, like, Mexican family, you have, like, Mexican grandparents that straight up came from Mexico, right? How can you be an immigrant child and be so proud of America? America has done so much for me and my family. My family, I think it's disrespectful if you are an immigrant child, right? I think it is disrespectful if you are an immigrant child and you do not love America. I think it is disrespectful. I think it is rude, and I think it is absolutely wild to think that, because your family gave up everything, gave up their home, gave up their family connections, gave up so much to bring you into this country, right? I see all that my grandparents sacrificed to get me over here and to get my parents over here and all that, you know? Like, it's insane. Whoever says that must not realize how many Hispanics are actually in the military. No, exactly. The military branch came to recruit at my Mexican school, like, all throughout high school, and majority of people that I went to school with, I know at least 20 people that went to the military after that. And that's just from my school, and it's a small town school. You know, like, it's crazy how many Hispanics go into the military. But that's kind of the thing, is, like, I hate when people are like, oh, if you're an immigrant, you should not like America. Like, no, literally America was founded by immigrants. It's so stupid. It's so stupid to me. Um, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna change the title and the thumbnails real quick of our stream since we're gonna be doing something different. Um, Sorry, guys. I'm just updating everything real quick. Give me 1 second. And speaking of children, that birthright citizenship should at the very least be nerfed, so it's not easy to give foreign blood citizenship just because they happen to be born at the right place or time, possibly thanks to the sins of their parents or traffickers. At least base it on the mother's citizen status, but that's off topic. Listen, I'm gonna be a little bit honest. I'm not gonna necessarily say I agree with that or not, for the main reason of I would not be here. I would not be a citizen here if they based it off of that. My grandma came here illegally at first. She is now here legally. She got her paper, she got documentation, but when she came across, she was pregnant and she had my Thea here. Eventually they ended up getting her citizenship and everything throughout the process because my grandpa was a citizen here in America. So it took a long time and it took a process, but I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. You know, like that would have been a lot harder. And just posted some videos. When people say America was founded by immigrants, just say no, it was founded by settlers and conquerors that protected these lands for 250 years. Yeah, the controversy would be based on how they'd possibly grandfather existing citizens without accidentally aiding our adversaries. Yeah, it's a little bit of like an issue. You know what I mean? Let's see. What is this? I don't know. Some guy's like lecturing me on Twitter. What's new? Would you be stuck on Kick? I wonder, would you be a Hispanic streamer if you and your family were unlucky and stuck behind the border? I don't know. I don't think I would be stuck on Kick. I know a lot of people in Mexico that have streams and can stream to Twitch and YouTube and everything. But I do know that, like, it's really hard in Mexico right now. You should reply to him, ignore. Okay. Just ignored. Let's see. No. The guy that's lecturing me, he's literally, like, shit talking my friends. And I'm like, these aren't my friends. I don't know who you're talking about, bruh. I don't know what to say to you, you know? Like, you're fucking weird. You should have replied, hey, Tiny. Hi, Jamie. Hello. Fat electrician. I need to make a thumbnail real quick. Just real quick on, him. Copy image. Paste. You know what? Do you guys want to see how I make my thumbnails? I'll just show you guys. Hold on. Okay. Alright, so this is how I make my thumbnails. Listen, this is gonna be a really lazy way, and I know I don't care. I'm sorry. Oh, that's bad. That's a bad resolution. Okay, hold on. What could be a good... No, that's also bad resolution. Yes. Come on. That's a bad resolution. Why is everything gotta be bad resolutions right now, dude? I just want simple. Okay, I would just steal this. Okay, sorry. But. There we go. Perfect. Yay. Oh, pixelated him. Oh. Okay. American flag. Let's do. I don't know if I want that one. I'll do this one. Copy image. We're gonna go back over here. We're gonna paste. We're gonna. I don't like the size of it, actually. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are gonna learn how to do this with me, okay? I'm sorry. We're watching magic being made. Daco for the Betsy Ross flag. But it doesn't have all 50 stars. And it makes me sad. Because now we have all 50. There we go. This is, I think, better. Yeah, that's a better size. Okay. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna layer it back, send to back. Cool. There we go. Uploads. We're just gonna put me. There I am. Okay. Okay, add a text box. Okay, we're gonna go here. League Spartan. We're gonna go. Yep. You know what? Why am I doing this the hard way? Okay. We're gonna do effects. We're gonna do outline. You guys are seeing a real behind the scenes stuff, dude. Real behind the scenes. Ah! Damn it. This is literally what I have to do before the streams. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. We're gonna download it. There we go. So that's how thumbnails are born. Yes. Day uploading Yowie. No. What are you talking about? It's the original. Also, I refuse to acknowledge California as a state. Yeah, well, I'm Californian, bitch! Alright, California is a state. Are we making the thumbnail for today's reaction? I just got back. Hello? Yes. Yes, that is what we're doing. Sorry. Okay. So, now, let me close this real quick because I don't need you guys to see this part. But then I switch it to settings. Hold on. I already started this, so alright, and then we're gonna change that to this, and then boom. Save. Cool. There we go. Now we have it. Alright. There we go. Alright, everything is working now. You should put a screen cap of you doing the salute. What salute? I recommend John Paul Jones. It's amazing, and I get to dunk on the British and learning how to spit game or Riz. No, it isn't a state. It is a state. Just because it's not a state you like doesn't mean that it's not a state. You silly Billy. Listen, and here's the thing. You know what? Actually, I actually have a bone to pick with all the rest of Americans that are, like, that really hate on California, right? I understand there are a lot of problems with California, but you guys have to... Are we watching something patriotic? I might have to leave since I'm rather ill, and unfortunately none of my thoughts feel fit for commenting given the nature and my less than serious, not so respectful thoughts on many things here. Sorry, except for California being a state. I'm literally from California. It's not. Delete it all. Yes, we're gonna be watching, like, some military stuff, so if that's not something that you want to watch, completely understand, but we are gonna be watching some, like, military stuff. Whatchamacallit, you guys have to understand, in California, there is a lot of people, there's a large amount of people that think just like the rest of the frickin' nation, you know? It's really just the coast. Honestly, if San Andreas would just hurry up and break off that little chunk, we might be... Seriously, thank you! Exactly. We provide 50% of all America's food. Thank you! We provide so much food to not only America, but to the entire world, bro. Okay? We are the fucking capital of fucking agriculture and food. This is the thing that just, like, pisses me off when people shit on California, because there is so much more to California than just a bunch of woke retards, bro. Like, there is so much more to California than that, you know, and it pisses me off because, like I said, I'm a country girl, I'm from California, and I've seen how, like, people act and behave, you know, like, good portion of California's water comes from Nevada. Yes, but the reason why we're taking water from other states is because our, the problem is with the drought. It's not the fact that we have a drought necessarily. Like, yes, we have always had, like, really inconsistent patterns with water and everything like that, but a lot of the water has been released to save these little itty bitty bait fish, and that was given by city folk. That's why I say I don't really fucking care for city folk. All right, listen, if you're from the city, that's fine or whatever, but as a country girl, I can't stand the fucking city folk that are making all of the laws in California. I don't like it. It's fucking ridiculous. And speaking of California, fun fact, in a long time ago, used to be a part of Mexico, hence why it seems to have a lot of Hispanics. Exactly. Fuck those fists. Exactly. Right? Like I said, it's just the coast that are the problem. It is literally just the coast, bro. It is just the coast. The big issues of California are San Francisco, Los Angeles, and maybe San Diego. No, and you know what? I would put San Diego in that, all right? Those are the biggest problems of the fucking state. Like, yes, everything has its issues, you know, but actually not really. It belonged to the Spaniards, but they barely had any claim to it. There's a Memorial Day video I'd like to share with you in the chat. I was going to put it in the Discord, but I don't know where in the Discord I put it. Feel free to go ahead and just, like, I don't know, because it's not necessarily something that we would watch on here. You could just put it in the general, and if people decide to watch it, they could watch it. If not, okay. But yeah, so I'm just like, thank you for the posture check. Hi Zash, hello. There should be more fair representation of rural and urban or suburban areas, even at the state levels, so the interests of one don't overpower the others, no matter how many people may technically live or within each category, as they are all important to balance. Oh, 100%. 100%. And you have to understand, too, just how big California is. Hold on. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. So, the biggest states in all of America, right? Alaska, Texas, and then California. All right? California is huge and massive. Okay? California is fucking huge, bro. There is a lot more, I would say, there's a lot more that happens in California than you guys would like to know, and that's why I genuinely, because as somebody who lived in California all her life, I was born in California, I was raised in California, I wish I could go back to California and live in California and be like, dude, it's a great place, but because of all kinds of random shit, I can't be in California anymore, you know? Can we just agree California is a beautiful state, horrible government management? Yes, exactly. Don't forget about all the unfinished structures we have down here. Exactly. There was a movement by some countries to split off and become 2 new states as a recall. As a Democrat, I have no problem splitting up Cali into 5 states. It's hard. Like, there's so much at stake with California, and everybody wants different things, and that's kind of why it's so hard to, like, manage. And also, we just have people that are voted into office that literally can just pay their way to be into office, you know? I want to get a t-shirt that says, "Kiss her where it smells, take her to New Jersey." Hi, everyone. Hi, Wolf Chesty. Hello. I don't know, man. So many places I see look so bland, and random roads on GeoGuessr, literally anywhere else, looks so pretty in comparison. I don't know. As somebody who lived in California, alright, I love the way California is. It is beautiful. And listen, it depends on the time of the year. Let's be honest. Because if you're looking when it's summertime and all that shit, there's only a couple areas that are pretty. You know, if you're looking like when it's like winter, yeah, it's gonna be a little ugly depending on the areas because everything's dead, you know. But there's a lot of beauty. Like, what I love about California specifically is just how you can go into, like, different areas. Like, no matter what type of geography, like that you want to be around, you can be in it. You could be in the country. You could be, in the hills. You can be near the beach. You could be near the lakes. You could be in the desert. Like, there's so many different areas. You could be in the woods. You know, like, there's so many different areas that are so beautiful. It depends on what you see as pretty. You know?
Yikes forever.
Yikes forever. Hi, Raul. Hello. Thank you for the biddies. San Diego does look beautiful when it's heavily fogged. South of Oregon and north of Cali together. I support the state of Jefferson, which would cut. Day, I just put the video in general section of the Discord. I'm gonna watch it and have a sob BRB. Okay. Of course, there's not much interest in moving towards that for real, as it benefits lords and elites to have cities easily able to dominate just by being able to funnel import as many people as possible into specific areas. Yada yada yada. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Missouri got rural rep on lockdown. Beverly Hillbillies and Ozark took all the rural rep. And the Clampets, I don't even know what any of that means. Ozarkian? I don't know what any of that means. I'm so sorry, Demolition Dude. I have no idea. I got an idea. We trade California for Alberta and Saskatchewan. No, stop trying to trade California. I love California. I wish we had Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor again. Dude, same. Honestly, it's ridiculous. And I'll always say this, no matter what, like, political beliefs, you know? No matter what political beliefs you have or anything like that, I think the biggest problem with the government in totality right now, right? And this is like all politics, both sides, right? I feel like government officials are so out of touch with the common worker, the average worker, that they are no longer fighting for battles for the average person, the average citizen. And I hate that. I hate that a lot. I really do. I feel like nobody is ever addressing like the actual issues that people need to just survive as a person. So that's what I would say on that. That's what I would say. You haven't heard of the Beverly Hillbillies? No, I have not. No, Sherry, I have not. Then again, you have to understand, I don't know a lot of things of a lot of stuff. Ba 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 ba. It doesn't help that California practically advertises itself as LA and Hollywood. Do you want me to feel disgust, show pride for literally anything else? Except maybe the forest fires. I get Amber Alerts for every other week. Maybe South Cali just sucks. Is it better north? I think it's better in a lot of different areas. Listen, and you have to understand, we're not the only ones that market it as LA and Hollywood, okay? Listen, y'all, okay, everyone that's like not Californian, bro, y'all only see it as LA and Hollywood. I don't know why that is the only thing that you guys see, but that's not all we are. And I have a lot of pride in California because, you know, it's the agriculture state of America. Like, it really is. It dominates, bro. I've always been proud of that, and I've always been somebody that's like, bro, this is what we are, you know? But a lot of people don't see that, and a lot of people don't give it its credits, you know? But it's not fancy, and it's not something that people think, you know? It's because that's all we see footage of. Yeah, but again, why do you guys see footage of it? Why do you see it? Because you guys are watching stuff that was made from Hollywood. You know, like, of course Hollywood is gonna fucking stroke its own nutsack. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that that's all that you're gonna see because you guys are watching entertainment that is produced by those areas. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes sense, but that's not all there is, you know? See you again. Hello. Back, fuck that video. 2 minutes long and it fucking hurts. I need to think of it as a culture of not just the US but anime and conventions and Star Wars 2 when the Redwoods. Thank you, Raul, for the biddies. Not even just Hollywood, but whatever news outlets that focus on the worst of the state. Exactly. But here's again. How is everybody going to say, yes, the news is corrupt and everything like that, but not focus on the fact that it's corrupt? Listen, there is so much, like, and that's why I don't fucking watch the news. Honestly, I stopped watching the news a long time ago because they do not show stuff that actually fucking matter most of the time. Like, most of the time, it doesn't fucking matter what the news stations do. That's why I'm always surprised every time I say, oh, by the way, I'm going back to California. Everybody's like, be careful. I'm like, dude. And by the way, is Tangia double speaking for anyone else? Oh, it could be. Hold on. I got you. Don't worry about it. By the way, the sound redeems are loud and double audio on my end. Okay. Let me lower that down. But yeah, no. I'm just like, broskies. All right. Yeah, that's why I stick to Tiny Pixie Day uses Ground News, slick translation, to add LMAOJK. Dude, I wish Ground News would sponsor me. That would be great. No, I know it isn't just Hollywood and the failed state that is LA. I mean, I have family there as well, but it's like still I think Texas and Louisiana have more interesting things, and that's fair. Everyone gonna be like, they gonna die every time you go back. Seriously! Like, the amount of times they're like, hey, be safe, alright? Be careful. I'm like, bro, I'm fine. It's California. Like, it's really not that bad. As long as I'm not in the fucking cities, like, it's good. Because the cities, you have to understand, the cities where a lot of the problems are, that's where you stay out of. And nobody likes to be in the cities. Like, even city folk don't like being in the city. Alright? Like, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. I don't understand people who live in the city. I don't. I remember when I was applying to be, okay, here's the thing, you know? Here's the thing, right? I applied to work for Nickelodeon, right? I don't know if I've talked about that very often, but I applied to work for Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, for this job, they said that they would get us a house outside of the city because they wanted it to be in a gated area outside of the city so that way we didn't have to live in the city. People that have jobs in the city don't even live in the city, bro. They don't even live in the city. Y'all aren't understanding. It's insane. It's insane. That's why I'll never understand people who are living in the city. The only city that I think is beautiful outside of all that is San Diego, but that's because there's a lot of people that go missing in San Diego, okay? But living in the city is something those who are younger or more likely to dream of until they get quite a bit into their 20s or get a real life experience. Yeah, my state, they say the same thing about the cities, but unlike California, the biggest city in my state would be referred to by a Californian as a small town. Exactly. Like, you have to understand how big these fucking cities are, bro. Main other areas people will know are places hosting popular universities like San Diego, Irvine, aka you will die paying for rent once. I'm sorry, but if someone was to visit the US, I really think there are so many better places. It's just not worth it, man. Everyone hates us, including ourselves, and we don't even got the cool New York accent. Listen, I can tell you a billion places to visit in California, to be honest. There's so many places, but again, you have to know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna come to California, I could give you places that I think are pretty. If you're coming to California and you really want to go to a really cool beach area, I would say go to Monterey Bay. There's the aquarium there. There's all kinds of shops over there. It's really nice. You know, there's not, like, it's nice. If you stay within a certain area, it's nice. I love Monterey. I love Monterey. Monterey is very, very pretty. That's somewhere I like to go whenever I'm, like, traveling. Every time I go back to San Diego for family, I always like to go to Old Town and Long Beach. Yeah, Old Town is so pretty in San Diego. 100% if you're going to San Diego, go to Old Town. That shit is so beautiful. And the pier nearby there. Don't go to San Francisco. Don't go to Los Angeles, especially downtown LA. And if you are, just be prepared that you're gonna probably get shot. Like, don't go to those places. Where else? I'm trying to, like, think of areas that aren't gonna dox me if I ever go to these places. I haven't been there in years, but a place I used to like going to Santa Cruz, but I do know that it's gotten a lot worse over the years. But I used to go to Santa Cruz a lot when I was little. If you're driving downtown LA, rent a shitty car. Yes. If you are going to LA, I'd say stay in, like, the Disneyland area things. There's a lot of cops there and stuff like that, so it's sketchy, but it's not as sketchy. Whatchamacallit. Santa Cruz was fun back in the days. I don't think it is anymore, but you could try. Bass Lake was really pretty. I really like Bass Lake. Bass Lake is really, really pretty. I try not to assume where people are from is as terrible as the rumors I hear. I know every state tier list I have seen has put mine in F, and in my opinion, it's the best state. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you're not from there, like if you are somebody that lives in a state, you're gonna see a lot more beauty in it than other people will because you've went around, you know. I went to Chinatown, Golden State Bridge, Alcatraz, and such when I went to visit pre-COVID. There were homeless, yet not any issues for me, which is good. That's really good that you didn't have any issues. I went to San Francisco once, and oh my god, bro, it was horrifying. It was horrifying. Also, much of the hate is likely directed more at the government rather than its people, just like how Americans treat adversaries. Yeah, and that's why I just think it's full of shit. And that's why I say, like, as somebody that loves California, I love California, hate the government. Love California, hate the government. You know what I mean? Okay. I never been to San Francisco, but I always wanted to see the redwoods there. You don't have to be in San Francisco to see the redwoods. You can go even more up north and go to like redwood forest and shit like that. That's really pretty. I would high key recommend that. North is really pretty. Going up north is pretty. I've always wanted to go up north. I didn't really go up north that often. As a New Yorker, I get it. There's so much more to the state than the Big Apple. Exactly. There's so much more. There's so much more that just doesn't get talked about. If you want like a really peaceful beach, go to like San Luis Obispo. Like it's really nice over there. You could go shopping. There's outlets, you know. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. And if you want some like hillbilly stuff, like check out some stuff in like the Central Valley. Like, yeah, it's nice. It is full of shit. There's literally graphs of homeless shit, hotspots, funny enough, lol. I didn't go to those areas, but yeah, the government in Cali makes it worse. Like, remember what the fuck happened in the forest fires last time? Exactly. That's a lot of, like, mismanagement. You know, I never really talk about this shit, so I am sorry. But I'm like, y'all ain't gonna slander my California name, because I am a proud Californian. I used to wear, like, the California, like, snapbacks, you know, like, dude, I really loved being in California, and I do love California as a whole. Went with a band back in the days because we are going to get signed. Ended up broke and having to play awful shows on the road trip home just for gas money. Damn. Heck, the Cali government cancer even spreads to other states and across the world, especially with big tech stuff. Exactly. Happy Memorial Day, us. Yes. Thank you. The Adirondacks are massive, bigger than the next 4 parks combined. But does California have spellcasters? We do. We call them grannies here. Ever wondered what mystery concoctions grannies make them? What is that? Poppy Nurkle loves you all. Thank you, Envy. Hello. I recommended going to the Sequoia National Park in Fresno. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that is really pretty. As they tend to model guidelines and regulations based on it and the EU's BS. Hold on. Sequoia National Park in Fresno. Hold on. Note to self. Next time I want to distract Dave for an hour, just say California doesn't count as a state. No, because I'm passionate about this. Fuck you. Okay? Hold on. Oh, yeah, I've been there before. I had to check the Sequoia National Park for a second. I was like, where's that at? Yeah, I've been there before. I went on hikes there. And mind you, there's also so many great camping spots in California. Like, there are so many great camping spots. I love camping in California. Heard Jacksonville is wild, though. Florida has wild shit, and people I've never had issues much with, even when I was in an area nicknamed Crime Hills. Although I might be lucky. Yeah, I like where I live now. That's good. Face Day night. Same, Las Vegas, everyone just thinks the gambling strips and prostitute, but there's so much beauty on the outskirts, like the rivers, lakes, mountain trails, and hell, even towards the atomic bomb site, tests are awesome to see. Hoover Dam is a cool place too, and picnic. You see, everybody has their stuff. My bio dad is the same. He's one of those that I'm gonna live in California, and I'll die in California no matter what. And that's where I was thinking, you know? And that's how I thought I was gonna be, but that's how my entire family is. Like, everybody lives in California. My entire family lives in California. I'm the only one that has left California. I don't know if I'll go back and like live in California again. I don't know. I'm still debating. My family is like, come back to us. Hi, Silent Bell. Hello. How are you? Hello. How's it going? Hi. I hope you're doing well. I hope you got some good rest. We're just talking about California. Also, I hope you guys are having an amazing Memorial Day. Thank you for tuning in. Hi. I went for my 21st birthday to drink, and I went in a week of 90s, but I missed the week of hundreds, luckily. Okay. Hey, just popping in to wish y'all a happy Memorial Day and hope it's a good stream. Thank you, Lemon Orchid. I hope you had a great day. Oh, that's so cute. You have such cute emotes. Thank you. Thank you, Anonymous, for the gifted sub. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. My family has been in my state for 4 generations. We've been here longer than this state has existed as a state. I have no desire to leave ever. No, and that's fair. But here's the thing, right? As like a homegrown like Californian, and it's not the fact that I wanted to leave. I would have stayed in California forever with like no hesitation. Floating command centers, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Shimmy Army. I appreciate you. Welcome. I would have stayed in California forever, honestly, but it's so expensive, bro. It's so expensive, and honestly, the public schools, there are so many predators in the public schools nowadays in California. It's genuinely concerning. And I don't want my kids to have to grow up in an area where if they change their views or anything like that they'll be like isolated and like cast out of their school and lose all their friends and stuff like that, you know? Like, I want my kids to be safe, and I want them to have lifelong friendships if possible. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, exactly. In California, you could probably find some good property, like, way outside in the middle of nowhere, like in the hills. It's actually expensive. My parents are trying to say, like, because they're almost done paying off their house, so they were thinking of, like, selling their house for a really good price to me and my brothers, and all of us just start making payments on it and have it as our house, and then eventually if we want to, like, just one of us buy it, or if we want to sell it, or if we want to rent it out one day to make more money and get our own places, then we could do that. But I don't know. There's so much like within that, and it's just hard. It's hard. A streamer house? Hell no. I am not having a streamer house. Arkansas here, just better than Texas. Well, even without politics, you can get bullied by most of the class and grade for just being seen as weird, because that's me in middle school. Well, yeah. Well, I'm not even saying, like, politics-wise. Like, I've just seen a lot of people that, like, if you have different politics, like, when you leave high school, you'll get, like, ostracized from, like, all your friend groups and everything. You know, like, political warfare in California is genuinely so fucking disgusting at how many people are just so gross, like, I hate it. I think people who stop being friends with people for political takes, I genuinely think it's some of the weirdest fucking shit. You stream and one of your brothers streams, so why not all the brothers? I don't know. This, Tommy doesn't really stream as much anymore, but he is going to go get his tattoo, I believe today or tomorrow. Ya no sé. Yeah, I hate it too. Vaya. Yeah, exactly. Blair White is one of like the prime examples of that. Like it's ridiculous. I thought California political warfare was one sided. You ain't Prague move. That's the thing. And here's the thing that I also like really hate. A lot of people think that California is only one political side, and it's really not. Like people that think of the opposite political views, they have to stay there because it's not easy to just move. Like not everyone can move, you know? Did we scare him? Scare who? Oh no, you didn't. You guys didn't scare my brothers. I've been singled out due to identity politics as a teen. It was hard to cope. Yeah, it's fucking hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. Like as a teenager, like I've seen family members. I'll say that. I've seen family members that have struggled with that, and as a teenager, like that's really hard, and that's why I want to be like in an area where I'm like, okay, I want my kids to grow up safe. I want my kids to be able to have the freedom of expression in any way, shape, or form, and I don't want them to get harassed or attacked for thinking differently politically and getting like ostracized. I don't want that. I want my kids to like be safe. Period. And speaking of foreign adversaries, wonder if the ones many of us have sold, like China and Russia, are only the tip of the iceberg and there's something deeper. Of course, not trying to gloat the official adversaries, but you sometimes wonder. Dude, California is slowly growing red. It's getting so close for voting for Trump, too. Maybe. Most of our political divide would be so much easier if we could just eat a sandwich and go bowling together. Seriously. Yeah, Blair White went to Texas for a bit, but she is moving back because she didn't want to take the easy way out and wanted to see if she can help the community, if I remember correctly. And that shows a lot of strength because you guys have to understand, like, Blair White, I was watching a lot of her stuff at the time, all right? Shut the fuck up. But I was watching a lot of her stuff, and I saw, like, how much harassment she got, you know? I saw a lot of harassment that she had and she dealt with, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Reminder: politics can scare off new viewers. So yes, I know. I'm not trying to scare people off with politics. Listen, we're a very open and welcoming community. No matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, you do you, boo. We're just having a conversation. We're just saying how if you have one side of the political spectrum or the other, it shouldn't matter. I think most people in life want the same things, which is why I find it like really, really dumb to like put like political warfare on top of each other, because most people want the same things. They want safety, they want security, and they want love and happiness. That's about it. And I think that's most people. And if you're not somebody that wants that in your life, then are you okay? What's going on? We just have different views on the solution. Exactly. Whoa! Hi, Day. Hi, Tally. Hello. How are you doing? How's it going? Buddy? How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Hello. But yeah. Anyways, I'll move on from that, because if not, then we're going to get into real political topics, and then everyone's going to be like, hey, what are your politics? And we'll be like, ah. And they're going to be like, ah. And they're going to be like, come on, just say it. Just act with it. And then we'll be like, ah. Safety, security, love, and happiness. Okay, so not... Dr. Shaky Jones, I'm gonna ban your ass. I'm gonna ban you. You keep talking. That French language. I swear. I'm doing well. Thanks. How about yourself? I'm doing well when I'm not getting rage baited by Dr. Shaky Jones over here. Safety, security, and to be left the hell alone if we aren't hurting no one. Let me raise my chickens, grow veggies, and shoot my two-way devices. Exactly. It's the little things in life. Politics? Nah, fam. Let's talk about how big my squash are growing this year. Ooh, are you growing squash? Hell yeah. Similar to those that claim to be gay or lesbian doing similar now? Huh? What I missed a part of that. Akira, thank you so much for the follow! Welcome to the Shimmy Army. I appreciate you. Welcome. Gonna react to Asmongold more in the future. I sent videos on his backstory, and I'll post some stuff with his parents to start off. Okay. So, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Asmongold. Personally, I watch his stuff. I enjoy his stuff. And that's me personally. Right? But I know there are a lot of shroomies that also don't want that. And a lot of shroomies that don't want political talks, and a lot of shroomies that don't want us to go into stuff like that. And a lot of shroomies that don't like Asmongold as well. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, and I know I can't do that for everyone. But I am very, very... I'm trying to be cautious. I think that's the best way to say it. I'm trying to be cautious and to be mindful for one another, you know? We know of the Roach King very well. He's funny at times. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I am going to go into that type of topic, I might have to, like, do a poll on the, on the Discord to, like, see if you guys all would want it. But, again, I don't know, man. Yeah, I avoid Asmon. Not exactly the nicest space. Sometimes, yeah. A lot of people don't really like his content as well, you know, and we try to keep this space in an area where I would say that my community, as a whole, is very central thoughts, you know? Like, we do what we think is best, and make decisions based off that. But I don't like going into anything, you know, too crazy. Denji, thank you so much for the follow! Welcome to the Shumi Army. I appreciate you. Welcome. Like, we're obviously open to having, like, open discussions here and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm so about the Roach Man. And that's great. And I'm so happy for you guys. And, again, I watch him myself. And I do enjoy his content myself as a person. But... until I get canceled for having a base take, I'm probably not going to react to him. I'm sorry. I'm biased because I've watched him for years and he's my most watched streamer, but I won't force it, of course. No, I get that. I mean, I'm meh. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew that you were meh about Asmon. I'm pretty sure Chains doesn't really care for him as well, and a couple other people also, like, had, like, a huge, like, please don't do that to me day. So I'm like, okay, I'll be nice until I get canceled, and then we'll talk about it. Hello, how's it going? Hi, Corner Harmony. Hello. I like Asmon because he's the Fox woman's secret husband. Yeah. I started with non-political videos about his life and such, but we can wait. Yeah, we'll have to wait. Yep, not a fan, but I respect him and respect you. It's your platform, not mine. Thank you. Asmon, it's fine. Content goldmine. Asmon is fine. Content goldmine. Asmon's worldview and mine are very different, but you know what? I think we could eat a $5 steak together. Listen, for what it's worth, I think most people have different takes, you know? I don't agree with Asmon on most of his stuff either. Like, and here's the thing, right? We as people alone, right? We all have different ideas, different ways of trying to find solutions for our problems in the country and stuff like that. But that should never be something that we do to, like, cast harm or cast stones upon each other. I think that's really, like, I would say, childish. Yeah, that's the nicest way to put it. Gonna buy out Twitch and permaban him because his favorite class is warrior. How dare you? That's the reason. His dad was awesome though. Oh yeah. That was a sad moment. What are we talking about? We're talking about Asmongold as of right now, but we're just basically talking about a little bit of politics, a little bit about California, a little bit about veterans, a little bit about everything. You know, it's Memorial Day, and I'm proud to be an American. Well, at least I know I'm free. So, yeah, it basically divulged from us going about, ha ha ha, I'm proud to be American, to ha ha ha, Cali's not a state, and me being like, it is a state, you motherfucker. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna play my, I'm gonna be playing a video real quick while I go to the restroom. Very quickly. Day was fighting on people about California, now we're talking about Asmongold. What a transition. It will fall into the sea soon enough. Well, hopefully it's only the coast because that's the only problem. Thank you. Did I miss the fat electrician? No, you have not. You have not. We're gonna be taking a quick restroom break real quick, and then once I get back, we're gonna be watching the Fat Electrician together, and we're gonna pick out our video together. So stick around. That's gonna be coming up soon. That's gonna be coming soon. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep this video going. I will be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom. I will be back. I will be back in a flash. BRB! BRB! Blah, blah, blah.
The best part is whenever I have ideas of things, it's like, this is not a terrified day. I run them by Grizz to make sure.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, he does.
No shot you do that. In case you guys don't know, because I was blocking it, there's a puppet over here. Look at that puppet on the chair. It's fucking scary. It's fucking scary.
That's adorable.
That puppet is
We just want to argue.
No, I'm scared. Actually, you know what? Let's keep watching.
James, pull that clip up.
Let's keep watching, guys. Never mind. Shut up!
Jamie, pull that up.
Shut up!
Oh yeah, she's hot. I would crush on a show like this. Women are obsessed with me. I already got this one girl catcalling me every night. Tonight I'm gonna have her wetter than a 42-year-old nurse at a Kevin Gates concert.
That's flooded.
You've been glued to that thing all night. If you don't start paying attention to these videos I'm showing you, man, you're gonna be alone for a long time.
What's in the bag?
Look at you.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I've been trying to convince this guy I'm a girl for like the past 6.5 hours.
Wait, what are you doing?
Hey, Nitro isn't easy, okay?
Man,
True.
Missing.
You know what's rude? I don't get Nitro gifted to me, and I am the ultimate e-girl. That's ridiculous.
40-year-old
Skill
man
issue.
behind a...
I'm not 40 years old, man! You know what?
Yeah,
you guys are my Discord mods. You guys should be gifting it to me. What the fuck? You're not allowed to e-girl. I'm sorry. Why is chat? See, chat is always making sure that I behave myself. What if I want to misbehave? What if I want to? Why would you guys dishonor me of allowing me to be at my ultimate prime?
Her mic is peak comedy.
I get it.
Yeah, well, they can hear me clearly, so... Let's continue.
The mold is
Hours.
growing.
wait, what are you doing?
Look at that!
Good God, man. Your username is Miss Virgin Double D's?
Yeah? I'm in a sleep token
Payment
Discord
works.
server to pick up chicks. It's actually a pretty sweet plan. I pretend to be a girl to gain their trust and their friendship.
No,
next
he's
was a
outing me.
giveaway.
He's outing me. He's outing me, guys! Guys, he's outing me for being a man on the internet.
Day, that's been your whole shtick for like.
Wait, maybe it's because I said I wasn't a virgin.
Tall black man.
Wait. Maybe this is why I didn't get any Nitro, because I didn't say I was a virgin. Guys, guys, I'm a virgin.
Most people on the internet are male virgins. Yes.
No, shut up. I'm a virgin,
special.
guys.
You ain't wrong.
I'm a virgin, guys. I'm special. That's right. Oh, God damn it! God damn it!
Sweetest little specialist pixie out there, aren't you?
Dang, you didn't get nitro because someone shook you as a baby? Nobody shook me as a baby.
She went to the short
They
vine.
dropped you.
Ow.
That was much worse.
Oh, no, she came
They
out of the
dropped you.
pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Lexington Bull.
It's actually a pretty sweet plan. I pretend to be a girl to gain their trust and their friendship.
I'm a girl and I'm just looking for a friend. Nothing else, I swear.
And over the course of 9 or so months, it's anime watch parties,
I love anime.
Sleep Token e-concerts,
I love Sleep Token.
Friend Slot game nights.
I love video games.
I'd rather die.
Girl.
And then,
He is
just when they
dead
trust me
inside.
the most, that's when I reveal I'm a man, and they're excited. They say, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're a guy and not a girl. This person who I thought you were," and they become my girlfriend. It's pretty good, right?
Okay, wait. That's.
I feel like I should file charges for what just happened to my face.
Hold on. Hold on. What the
A
fuck?
bit of Papa meat. Don't.
I'm going on Twitter right now.
Wait.
I'm
Wait.
I'm me tooing Papa.
Guys, you guys aren't all women? I thought you guys were all women.
Of course I
wish I
am.
was assassin.
This is a voice
It would be so
changer. I
much
have the
easier for
fattest tits.
Do you think this is actually how some people actually try and get girls on the internet, though?
Yes.
Do they really?
Day.
Yes.
Day.
Yes.
There's literally a semi-viral short of you reacting to a man putting on a dress.
Oh, you're right.
He was trying to riz you with a dress. This was the meta a few years ago.
You're actually right. You know what? That's actually fair. I kind of forgot about Maid Dress Boy.
Just when they trust me the most, that's why I reveal.
No.
So
They say, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're a guy and not a girl. This person who I thought you were," and they become my girlfriend. It's pretty good, right?
So you're not even meeting these people in person? You just talking to them on Discord?
You know what? Shut up, man. It's just easier to meet girls online. And plus, this Discord mod keeps banning all these guys who are pretending to be girls, and he's totally cock blocking me.
But you are pretending to be a girl.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not one of the weird ones.
I'm not one of the weird ones. It's crazy.
Deceive people and meet creeps online
Yeah, he's not a
instead of
pedophile,
meeting real
I
people
think.
in real life.
Oh, she's a creep?
He's not a
Really?
groomer.
Look at that right there.
You the groomie.
Does that look like a creep to you? Her name is Sakura.
And where is
Oh,
Sakura
no.
from?
Oh boy. This joke's I want to make
Ohio?
here, but
Oh, Jesus.
I'm holding my tongue.
Dude.
Hey, come on, man. Hey, what the
No race for you, my friend.
Wait, what was that? Hold on. Tugboat? What's a tugboat?
Oh,
Probably a character.
What's a tugboat?
He's got a lot of very strange people living in his house. You'll see.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Sakura from?
Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, Jesus. You're pathetic, dude.
Hey, come on, man. Hey, what the hell?
Oh.
Guys.
Yeah, okay, good night, Blockton.
discount fucking rock from Mario?
I'm pathetic. You're the one obsessing over some stranger singing to you in the middle of the night.
It's called a cat call, and obviously you've never had one.
Do you even know what she looks like? Have you even thought about what this person's trying to do to you? She could be trying to kidnap you, fucking rob you, give you a goddamn Ghirardelli dark chocolate bar for all we know.
No, but she sounds hot.
Fair enough.
Margaret, don't you think it's a little weird that some stranger wants to meet Tugboat in the middle of the
What
night?
the fuck is that?
What in the Holocaust war crimes? Oh my God.
Why is the nipples the thingies? The thingies!
This is
I-
grandma. She became
Wait,
part of the
why does her wait no. Why does her hands kinda look like mine?
That's what I'm saying. More accurate day.
Hey, is this your
Nail color.
psychic?
Our hands literally are the same thing except for the nail color.
They
She has a
literally are
tacky
not, you
she has
brownie.
she has tacky hands. Huh.
She has spider fingers. What are you talking about? You've got itty bitty baby hands.
Look at my hands! Look at my
I've
hands!
seen your hands.
Skin, or
No,
else
like
it
that.
gets the chains.
Look at my hands. You see it, right?
You're right. It was the color. That was the color that was missing. You're right. She's even got a tacky ring.
Oh, she meant a VTuber hands.
She has that likes a Drakari creation. What in the name of Chainsaw Massacre is that? Day face reveal?
you don't have to do it like that. My
God
God.
damn, up, dude.
Now you know why she likes to sniff the mic so much. Holy shit.
Oh my
She said she was a
god.
fire pixie. It means that she starts fires and burns dinner.
Oh my god, guys, I was featured. Oh my god, that's gonna be the thumbnail for when we make this video. I was in a Meat Canyon video.
Yeah, sadly that's true.
Don't you think it's a little weird that
What
some
can I
stranger wants to
say
tugboat in the middle
except
of the
you're
night?
welcome?
I don't know. Sounds like my kind of night.
It sounds like gay.
It does, go. I hate to hear it.
All of this just feels. How do I say it?
Oh, those some blowjob lips.
feels-
Damn.
Spooky.
Nothing.
All right, girl, I'm coming.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I know it's delayed, so I know you saw it late. Brain, did you just fucking say she has blowjob lips? We just said that is me, and you had to say it has blowjob lips? Oh my god, I'm fucking.
Well, maybe it's pretty. Come on.
You looked at those fucking lips retracting and you said blowjob lips is crazy.
Then you went back to it?
Yeah, because I gotta see it again for science.
Look at them, they're full and luscious.
Tugboat in the middle of the night.
Chapped.
I don't know. Sounds like my kind of night.
Oh, tugboat's the butt plug.
All of
Oh,
this
God.
just feels.
That makes a lot of sense.
How do I
Actually.
say it? It just feels.
Is that avocado got a face on it?
Yes.
Probably.
All right, girl, I'm coming. If I beat that pussy,
Oh my god, he grew.
This is just a person.
What the fuck?
Glow up.
I gotta see that again.
Fucking caught me off guard.
It got me off guard.
Are you a Meat Canyon creation?
I think I might be a Meat Canyon creation. Holy
Just
shit.
kind of warps from frame to frame.
So much about you, actually.
Yeah, this does make a lot of sense.
if I beat that pussy.
Where did you study under me, Canyon?
Well, have fun getting scammed by random dudes on Discord. If I beat that pussy,
That's so
I
weird,
bet
though.
you gon' tell her. Oh, yeah?
Have fun getting killed by some stranger, asshole! Damn it! He thinks I'm getting scammed? Yeah, right. He's getting scammed. I'm not getting scammed.
House of Leaves ass trailer. Two people
I'll
got that.
talk to you soon. I'm heading into O'Reilly's to pick up some antifreeze. Hey,
That dude's got a huge dick.
selfie. I want to emulate your look.
Hello! Your local Canadian mechanic! Thank you so much for the follow! Welcome to the Shumi Army. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Wait, why do I hear the flapping of tiny wings? Ah! Okay, new VTuber who dis? What do you mean? Oh! What the hell, guys? What the helly? What the helly? What the hell? Okay. Happy Memorial Day, guys. Hi, Renji. Hello. Hi, Night Owl. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. Webba. Also, jump scare. Jump scare. Hello. Okay. Okay, let me. There we go. Okay. Did I recommend John Paul? John's, you will love him. Okay, I will see. Alright, we're gonna pick a video together to watch. Alright? We're gonna pick one of these videos to watch together. Together, 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 everyone. Together, together. Come on, let's have some fun. is this the latest Meat Cannon video? Yes, it is. You guys should go watch it. If you guys want to see the whole video of that whole video is edited and put on YouTube. Have you seen the Sergeant Reckless one yet? I don't know. But be sure to check out our YouTube channel. So that way you guys can stay up to date with what we do. Yeah, we're going to be having a lot more stuff. I should have known you were into High School Musical. Of course I'm into High School Musical. But I don't dance, hit it out of the park. I don't dance, I know you can, not a chance. Well, I could do this, then you could do that, but found you because of YouTube. Never thought I'd randomly find your stream in Twitch's algo, but here we are. Oh my god! Hello! It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. What video did you see? Did you know High School Musical is at least 20 years old? Yes, I do, because I'm 25 years old, okay? And I know that I was 5 years old when it came out, all right? I was there for every High School Musical release. Gotta get your head in the game? Yeah! I gotta get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. I gotta get your head in the game. I love High School Musical, bro. I watched High School Musical on Ice, actually. The Kentucky Ballistics reacts mostly. Oh, okay, nice. Well, I hope you had fun. We're gonna be watching The Fat Electrician today, so if you want to stick around, I highly recommend it. Aging hurts. I know, it hurts me too. Me too. Okay, so there is War Dog. The greatest World War I scout sniper Americans forgot, John Lewis Barkley. That was 1 day ago. So I'm thinking we might do this one. I don't know. Is there a specific... You know what? Let's actually look at most popular, right? So we also have all these that we have not watched yet. Hashtag me too. Brain, why? Why must you be this way? Why must you be this way? York and Reckless are pretty cool. I let his most recent one cook first. Okay, so you mean like we should watch his most recent one, Snowman? Or no? God bless the souls of all those who served our great country who are resting now. Grant eternal rest unto them, O Lord, and may their memories be eternal. Amen. Thank you, Seer. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, yes. I'd say the second most recent. I like the dogs video. Don't watch it. Okay. Okay. Don't watch it. Okay. But, okay, the reason why I wouldn't say the dog one, right? Not because I don't want it to be about dog, but since it's Memorial Day, I would rather focus on the not that the dogs were not soldiers, obviously, but I would rather focus on a soldier, like an actual soldier, to kind of highlight the greatness that our soldiers do on the battlefield as well. Proportional, destroying half of Iran's naval fleet in a workday. Ooh. Oh, Roy Benavides? Roy Benavides. Oh, this one. The Green Beret that took on an army with just a knife. You'd appreciate that one a lot. Wait, isn't a Green Beret like... Okay, here's the thing. I want it to be an American story. He is Mexican, by the way. Is this American Army military? Or no? Because I don't know if Green Berets are American military. Army Special Forces? Okay, he is American? Okay. Fuck it then, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball. Alright. That's all I had to know, because I don't really know how a lot of the military stuff works. Apologies. Hey, Tiny Pixie, at work, but I just hope you have a great stream. Thank you, Justin. Have a good day at work. I appreciate you so much. Everybody, make sure you guys get your guys' drinks, your guys' snacky snacks. How long is this video? 45 minutes. It's gonna be a long reaction, so y'all buckle up. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Hello, YouTube. Hello. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reacting to The Real Rambo, Roy Benavides, the Green Beret that took on an army with just a knife, and this is done by the Fat Electrician. We love him over here. I hope you guys love him as well. It is Memorial Day at the moment, so we are here to kind of honor all of our troops and veterans and all of our fallen soldiers today. And of course, those that are still in service, we thank you so, so much for your service, and we love and appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Well,
John Rambo, the action hero that was an unstoppable, unkillable Green Beret from the Vietnam War that went into battle with nothing more than a big knife. This video is not about him. It's also not about the man that inspired that character. That was Audie Murphy. This video is about the real Rambo, the actual man that was inspired to join the military because of Audie Murphy, that would go on to become a Green Beret and go into combat against 1,000 men with nothing more than a big knife. Today we're talking about Call Sign Tango Mike, aka that mean Mexican Master Sergeant Roy Benavides. This video,
That Mean Mexican. I love that title. Can you guys? I was gonna say if you guys could call me that, but you know what? I don't think I'd fit it. Not if that's his title. I don't think I could fit into that. I'm gonna be honest. And that's insane though. The fact that he is what inspired a lot of these amazing soldiers, that's crazy. I personally, as a Hispanic, right, a little mean Mexican day, it doesn't have the same ring to it. Y'all just keep calling me Bean Sprout. I'll enjoy that. I will say though, as a Hispanic person that is an American now, right, or as a Hispanic American, I am very, very, very excited for this because I think a lot of people don't show light on how much immigrant families love being in America, have a lot of love for America and stuff like that, so I'm excited. Bean Sprout. Yeah, Bean Sprout. That mini Mexican. There you go. Mini Mexican. Ooh, it's like mini corn dogs. Everything's better mini. Mini Mexican. I like that. Duxplosion! Duxplosion! Hi, Sergeant Toasty is back. Hello, first time chatter. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Welcome in.
today we're talking about Call Sign Tango Mike, aka that mean Mexican Master Sergeant Roy Benavides. This video is brought to you by Delete Me.
I thought you'd never ask.
2 this week, huh?
Which one was I supposed to use?
I mean,
I think I
either
have
is
that
fine,
same
but
shirt.
both works, I guess.
Still on the couch?
I have that same shirt, actually. I have that same shirt. Dude, also, his wife is a baddie. She's a baddie. Dave, could you boost the video audio? Yes, I can. Well,
Love you.
It's a rough life. Anyways, Delete Me. Super simple, straightforward business. You give them money, they make sure that your personal information is not being sold on the internet by data brokers. Okay, and here's the thing with this. When I first started, I didn't want to give Delete Me my personal information because the whole purpose is I wanted my personal information off the internet, and giving my personal information to a company on the internet just kind of seemed counterproductive. But with Delete Me, you don't really have to give them that much information. When you sign up, you can give them as little information as you want. All they need is like your name and an email address, and that's it. And they will go through the internet and find everything for sale that's associated with that name and that email. They're going to come to you and be like, have you ever been associated with this address, or are you related to this person, or is this your old email, or is this your phone number? And anytime you tell them, yes, that's me, they're going to go ahead and get all that information taken down so it's no longer for sale. Honestly, it's alarming how much of your personal information is on the internet and people are apparently making money selling it. Nothing makes you want Delete Me more than having Delete Me and seeing all the shit they find. And once that initial wave of information is taken down, they're going to keep monitoring all of these data brokers, and anytime there is a new listing available with any of your information, they're going to make sure it gets taken down as soon as possible. So if you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video.
Ba-ba-ba.
Born on August 5th, 1935, Roy's first memory in life was attending his own father's funeral after he had passed away from tuberculosis when Roy was 3 years old. 1 year later, Roy's mother would remarry, and 9 months after that, she would give birth to Roy's new half-sister, and from that moment on, Roy was essentially on his own. His parents gave all of their attention to their new daughter, and Roy and his younger brother Rogelio were kind of neglected. 2 years later, Roy's mother would develop a cough that would get progressively worse and worse, similar to how Roy's father had. Roy's mother now had tuberculosis too, and while she was on her deathbed, her husband, Roy's stepfather, would inform her that he would absolutely not be raising another man's kids. And 6-year-old Roy overhears this. He's terrified. He has no idea what's going to happen to him and his younger brother Rogelio. He's already lost his dad, he's about to lose his mom, and his stepdad doesn't want him, and that's the only family he's ever known in his entire life. On the day of his mother's funeral, his stepfather tells him and Rogelio to pack their things. They're going to go live somewhere else. They load up in the car, go off to where the funeral's held, and at the funeral, a man comes up and introduces himself as Nicholas Benavides. He is their father's brother, Roy and Rogelio's uncle, and they're gonna come live with him. After the funeral, they load up in Uncle Nicholas's car and they head off to El Campo, Texas, Roy and Rogelio's new home. Upon their arrival, they get to meet what is going to be their new immediate family. They have their Uncle Nicholas, their Aunt Alexandria, their grandfather Salvador, and their 8 cousins. Roy is then informed that it is now going to be 7 boys sharing 4 beds, and that everyone in this family has to work to make this entire thing work because they don't have a lot of money. All the kids in the...
Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. Holy cow. First off, that is so sad that both of his parents died. Listen, God forbid that when I have a husband that he leaves me and I have to find somebody else. But even then, I don't even think I would. But needless to say, if I did, right? If there's a stepfather, like how could that stepfather just cast them out? Like, oh, bro, that makes me so mad. That makes me so freaking mad. It really is scary. Signed up for a trial and was like, oh, feck yeah, this is worth it. Oh my god. The story about how the Quack Bang came to be is hilarious. After the Lord of the Rings, I would call you a tiny spicy Latina, bro, number man. I am spicy. I'm muy caliente. Gracias. But the thing is, I can't imagine, right, like having to leave your kids, you know, knowing that the person that you remarried isn't going to take care of your kids. Like, that's so heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking. And I can understand if he had just met the kids, but by that point, they had already been in his life for years. No, that's really shitty, not gonna lie, to just dump them, right? That ticks me off. I'm not looking to be a stepdad, but I can't fathom just cutting them out like that. Yeah, cayenne pepper at best, muy caliente talking ass. First off, fuck you, alright? I'm spicier than, cayenne is it cayenne pepper? Okay, fuck you. Anyways, also, you know what? It's actually pretty standard for there to be that many kids. My family, right? The amount of cousins that we have in our household is crazy on my mom's side, right? Because my grandparents had 3 daughters and 1 son, right? But my oldest tia, yeah, I'll call her my oldest tia, right? She has she has 4 kids. Yes, she has 4 kids. My other tia has 5 kids. My mom has 3 kids. And then my uncle has 2. So all of us together, there's so many of us, man. There's so many of us. So fitting all of us into the car when we were little, bro, my grandma had like a van. So I'm gonna call her Mama, okay? Because that's what we call her. We call her Mama. And so my mama, she has a van back in the days, and to fit all of us into it, we would some of us would sit on the floor of the van, and others would sit in the seat of the van, and some of us would also sit on our cousins' laps, or try and squeeze into one seat. So yeah. But yeah, stepfathers can be just as bad as Disney stepmothers. Yeah, Disney just made a cultural stereotype. So y'all had a clown car for y'all's goofy asses. Yes we did. Yes we did. I did warn you that the beginning was rough. It is really rough, and that's why I say there's a lot of struggles. A lot of people go into the military life not necessarily because they want to, but because they kind of have to. They have no other choice, you know? It's either that or be homeless. I see VTuber, I see Nick, then I click to see what's going on. Hi Zet, hello, welcome in, first time chatter, it's nice to see you. Hi, welcome, hello.
Family are expected to go to school, get good grades, and then after school, they all have a job that they are expected to go out and do to help contribute to the family. And at the age of 7, Roy's first job was to go shine shoes to earn a little bit of extra money. Then in the summers or any other time the opportunity presented itself, they would all go out as a family and work in the fields picking crops. And this goes on for Roy's entire childhood, and his new family is incredible. His aunt, his uncle, his grandfather Salvador, they're the best people on the planet, but they're also being spread across their work and the 9 other kids in the house. So no kid gets a whole lot of attention. So between that, losing both of his parents, and being abandoned by his stepfather, he's kind of an angry kid, understandably so. So at a young age, he developed a pretty bad attitude, and he was not afraid to fight about it. One of his favorite things to do when he was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old was to go to the movie theater and watch the newsreels of all the different things that were happening in World War II. And he was inspired by the paratroopers. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be in the United States Army. But the problem with this pastime of going to the movie theater to watch all the newsreels was that you had to pay to get inside, and Roy didn't have any money. All his shoe shining money went back to the family. So Roy and a bunch of other kids would wait outside the movie theater for one of the previous showings to leave, and hopefully rich people would throw their pocket change out and let all the poor kids scramble and fight over it. It didn't take young Roy long to figure out that if he just beat up all the other kids, he would get all the money, and then he wouldn't have to run and dive for pocket change.
The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
And that's just the beginning of the fighting. It gets so much worse because as World War II progresses and all the young men go off to fight this war, there's a huge lack of manpower all across the United States. And to help alleviate that, one of the things the United States government does is basically opens up the southern border so that people can freely come into the United States and begin working. Because of that, there ends up being this huge misconception, especially in any state bordering Mexico, that any person of Hispanic descent wasn't even American, they were just some Mexican that was showing up to work in the fields.
Y el acento, ¿dónde are you from?
Scranton. Y before that, La Philadelphia.
This leads to young Roy getting picked on at school. All the kids are calling him a dumb Mexican. They're telling him he's not American. They're calling him a pepper belly. And he's like 8, 9 years old. He has no idea what's going on. So he goes to his grandfather, Salvador. And Grandpa explains to him, Roy, the Benavides family fought against Mexico to gain their independence, just like any white person's ancestors fought against Great Britain to get their independence. Your mother was Yaqui Native American. You are just as much, if not more American than anybody else. The Benavides family name is Mexican, but we are Americans. You have multiple cousins fighting for America in the war right now. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not American, which is a great...
You know what? That's so real, though. That is so real. Listen, I'm a born and raised American. My mom's side of the family came from Mexico. Her parents came from Mexico, and then, however, my side of the family that's on my dad's side, they're from America. They've lived in America their whole lives. I even have native blood in my veins, you know, and it's sad because a lot of people will look at you just based off whether or not you're Mexican, and there are a lot of people that will sit here and think of you a certain way. You know? And I think it's really naive to say that doesn't happen, but it does. I've been called a wetback before, right? I don't know if I could say that on stream, but I've been called that before. I've been called all kinds of things. And it's not cool. It's not right. But it does happen. And, you know, I think as someone that is American, and I have to look at other people that are from Mexico and stuff like that when they... I grew up in, like, a really Hispanic town, you know? I mean, we gotta censor that one. Yeah. I grew up in a really Hispanic town, and I got picked on a lot of the times for being, like, whitewashed. That's what they called me. They're like, you're whitewashed. So growing up, me as a person, because I didn't feel like I was accepted either as an American or as a Mexican, like, it hurt, you know? Like, you kind of feel like you don't belong anywhere. But as I've gotten older, I've had a lot more pride in being American, and I always say, like, yes, I have Mexican heritage, but I am American. And I know that I'm American, and I'm proud to be American. And I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of Hispanics that were born and live in America, we have a lot of pride in America, like a lot more pride than most people would assume, you know? So I totally understand and get it. And working in the fields, dude, working in the fields at that young of age, that's fucking rough, bro. Pixie, hi Patriot, hello. Pepper Belly, that's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one to me too. Oh, this one, yes, I hope you like this one. I applied to be a paratrooper, but it's so goddamn hard to get into. I'm proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free. Exactly. Okay, we'll jump back into it. Jump back into it.
Your mother was Yaqui Native American. You are just as much, if not more American than anybody else. The Benavides family name is Mexican, but we are Americans. You have multiple cousins fighting for America in the war right now. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not American, which is a great sentiment. I love it. However, what young, angry Roy honed in on was they fought for it. From this point forward, anybody that wants to make fun of Roy has a fight on their hands, and they almost never won, because Roy, at the age of 9, 10 years old, has been working in fields and shining shoes after school every day for years. He is way above the average level of toughness for a young man. And Roy wasn't even that big of a kid. If anything, he was smaller than average, but none of the bullies were bigger than him either once they were looking up at him from the flat of their back, which is always where they happen to find themselves eventually. Now, it's also important to mention that Roy, while he does have a temper and he's not afraid to fight about it, he does have standards. He was being raised right by his aunt and his uncle and his grandfather. Roy...
Thank you so much, Zach, for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Shimmy Army. I appreciate you. Welcome. While I get it, it's kind of sad that a group forms just because the only thing they have in common is their race, not gonna lie. Yes, but you have to understand too, like, a lot of people have that tribal mentality, you know? Like, even though things are different, times have changed, a lot of people have tribal mentality, unfortunately. And I do think it's really weird to only form groups based off of your race or your heritage. But again, you want a sense of belonging, and when you're around people that look like you and they just say, like, hey, you're weird, you get sad, you know what I mean? I knew some great guys who passed basic, currently serving. Oh, that's awesome. Still good on you for trying to go through a pipeline that has a 90% attrition rate. One whom almost died in the line of duty. Also know several more vets who don't serve. Actually, I was a bit wrong. It was air assault paratrooper. In-group bias. Yes, exactly. No problem, good content, and yeah, unfortunately humans make tribes. It's an instinct. Yeah, it's an instinct thing, you know? And I mean, especially when you're young, you know? People, when you're young and everyone looks like you, but everyone, like, just casts you out, it really sucks. It's really hard. I was always, like, made fun of for stuff like that, and I think it's so ridiculous. I think it's so ridiculous to try and fit yourself into a box. So that's why I try so hard, at least for the community, to make sure that, like, everybody feels welcome and, like, they feel like they don't have to be a certain way to be around us. You know what I mean? Hi, Day. Hi, Ivan. Hello. Lord have mercy. Kids are cruel. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Temper, and he's not afraid to fight about it. He does have standards. He was being raised right by his aunt and his uncle and his grandfather. Roy would not hit a girl if a girl made fun of him.
He's a good kid.
But what he would do is when they went out to recess, he would kick dirt at her until her brother or her boyfriend came to stop him, and then he'd beat the shit out of that guy.
Hello.
Oh.
And this goes on for Roy's entire
You
childhood.
know what? Based. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you. Happy Memorial Day to you as well. Sexist, equal rights, equal lefts. Yes, I definitely think it's based off the age, right? However, I do think if a woman hits you, I think you have every right to hit them. But if somebody is just bullying you, like, let's just say, like, verbally talking shit to you, yeah, I wouldn't encourage you to just beat up a woman because she's talking shit to you. First off, I would never endorse that at all. Modern problems require modern solutions. Someone throwing hands? Yeah, seriously. No, and here's the thing. I am a strong advocate that if you don't stand up for yourself, who will? Who will? You know, fighter mentality is real and necessary and needed. You know? But that's actually a really clever solution, I gotta admit. I mean, yeah, big difference between words and someone throwing hands. Yeah, exactly. That's why I say I believe that from this description, I think these girls were talking shit to him, and so he just found a way for somebody to come up so that way he could fight them in front of them, you know? Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. Exactly, Pixie. These hands are rated E for everyone. Yeah. I very much agree. I very much agree with that.
Hello, how are you?
And this goes on for Roy's entire childhood. He's always getting in fights. He struggles in the classroom academically, but outside of school, he does work super hard to help provide for his family. He still loves going to the movie theater, watching all the newsreels about World War II. He still wants to grow up to be a paratrooper, and he also loves hanging out with his uncle and his grandfather, Salvador. And his grandpa had all these amazing stories that he would share with him, and all these stories had some underlying meaning or some lesson that Roy needed to be taught. And his favorite story was when his grandpa was younger and he was a cowboy, and he was on this trail, and another cowboy had fallen off his horse down onto a cliff face, and he was stuck. And Grandpa Salvador stopped, took his belt off, and lowered it down to help pull this cowboy up and saved his life. And the moral of that story was, when somebody needs help, you help them. And all this keeps going on until he's about 14 years old and he drops out of school. He's not going to go to high school. He's just going to go get a full-time job and help support his family. So that's what he does. He goes out and he starts working at this local tire shop. Uncle Nicholas, realizing that Roy is going to be a man soon and that getting in fights like he does is going to have real-world repercussions, figures that he needs to help Roy get over that somehow. So he encourages Roy to start amateur boxing, and Roy is incredible at it. He makes it all the way to the state tournament his first year of doing it. While there, he ends up...
You know what I've realized about a lot of these, like, stories? A lot of these military men have went into boxing. A lot of, like, the really high prestigious, like, military men, like, they were boxers at one point. Like, a lot of them have anger issues, and a lot of them go to boxing for their anger issues. I'm just recognizing a pattern. No, not Benavides, it's Benavides. The United States Army has an official boxing team. That's awesome. As my dad said when I was a kid, don't throw the first punch, but make sure you end the fight. Yes. My parents always said, we don't want you to start a fight, but you always have to finish it. A lady from my church who I care about greatly is currently in the Navy. I miss her, hoping to get in contact again soon. I hope you are able to get into contact soon with her. Also, hi Roger, hello. There's a reason why the Marines are connected to high school wrestling so much. Yeah, you know, I actually was a stat girl for the high school wrestling team that I went to. And a lot of those wrestlers actually went to the military. Oh my gosh, actually, yeah, quite a lot of them went to the military. That's crazy now that I think about it. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, a lot of them went to the military, and a lot of them were Marines. Huh! I never knew that! You learn something new every day. My bad, Pixie. I know this guy. Oh, okay. He's an inspiration to me? Oh. See what I mean? Yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah, that's crazy. Huh. I never thought about it. I wanted to serve ever since a child. Oh, okay, okay. New things for day? Yeah, new things. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Huh. I'll be damned. But I do like that he's doing so much for his family. And you know, here's the thing that I'll always say about Hispanic families and Hispanic culture, right? Is a lot of Hispanic families, what I love the most about our culture is how giving our culture is to one another. Like how he is like, you see somebody in need of help, you go out and you help them. You know, my grandpa was actually also a cowboy. My papa, he was a cowboy as well. And you know, he actually told me a funny story about horses. He's like, do you know why we use horses and not donkeys instead, even though donkeys can technically carry more? I was like, why? And he's like, because horses can sense more. So basically, horses can smell humans, and so their ears turn a certain way. So if there's like somebody approaching, horses can sense it before donkeys or any other like animal can that you would horse or that you would ride on their back for. And think of the humor of wrestlers and Marines. They are the same. That's true. I love his story. He has a book, even Pixie, he wrote. Really? That's awesome. Hi Thetis. Hello. I wish I could have done boxing. I just told not to fight. Don't help a ton, but yeah, the Marines know how to get people. So horses have better detection stats. Yes, they have better detection stats. Funny enough, actually, a lot of cowboys are Hispanic. There's a lot of cowboys that are Hispanic. We call them rancheros. So, yeah, just a little.
Like he does is going to have real world repercussions, figures that he needs to help Roy get over that somehow. So he encourages Roy to start amateur boxing, and Roy is incredible at it. He makes it all the way to the state tournament his first year of doing it. While there, he ends up losing his very first match, and in the locker room after his fight, the young man that had just beat him comes up and wants to shake his hand now that they have their gloves off, and Roy's anger and temper gets the better of him, and he ends up fighting this kid in the locker room, wrestling him into a stall and shoving his head into a toilet. After Roy does that, all the other coaches, all the other fighters, Roy's coach, all look at him like, what the fuck, dude? And they're all disappointed. And it was the first time in Roy's life that he felt ashamed and disappointed in himself. And this is where Roy really starts to get a lid and a grasp on how to control his anger. After that, Roy gives up amateur boxing and just continues working full-time at the tire shop. And that's when his boss, Mr. Haddock, the tire shop owner, also kind of becomes his father figure too, because he works with him and he's around him so much. He just becomes that older male role model that Roy has always kind of been looking for. And he continues to help Roy mature and get a better grip on his anger and more control of himself. And this goes on for a couple of years. And then one day when Roy is 17 years old, a recruiter from the Texas National Guard comes in and wants to hang up a flyer at the tire shop for anybody who's interested in joining the Texas National Guard. And on that flyer was none other than Roy's role model, Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier of World War II. You see, this is right in the middle of the Korean War, so Audie Murphy, the World War II war hero, had joined the Texas National Guard to help with recruiting, and he was also going to train the next generation of soldiers. And at this point, Audie Murphy's the shit. He's got an award-winning book, he's an actor, and when he's acting, he's playing the role of himself in movies, and he's being told by directors, hey, I know you were there and you're literally just portraying the shit you did, but you need to tamp it down a little bit because it's so unrealistic, nobody's gonna believe this story. This is a Texan that was rejected by the Marine Corps for being too small and then went on to be the most decorated soldier of World War II, earning the Medal of Honor for going toe-to-toe with an entire German SS battalion by himself from the back of a flaming M10 tank destroyer with a 50 caliber machine gun. So Roy Benavidez figures if the Texas National Guard is good enough for Audie Murphy, then that's exactly where he wants to be. So he joins the Texas National Guard, he ships off, goes to basic training, ends up coming back, he's doing his weekends, he's doing his training in the summer. That goes on for a couple of years while he's still working at the tire shop with Mr. Haddock. Then one day he decides that he likes doing Army stuff a lot more than he likes changing tires, so he wants to go full-time Army. He goes over to the active duty recruiter's office. It's a shared office. They've got the Navy, the Marines, the Army, and the Air Force all right there in one building. Roy walks right past the Navy, walks right past the Marines, walks right past the Air Force, goes straight to the active duty Army recruiter, says, here's my guard papers, I'm a corporal, I want to be a paratrooper. I don't just want a normal contract, I want a contract that guarantees me airborne school. At this point, the Army recruiter looks at Roy, who's like 130 pounds soaking wet, and he's like, man, you're not big enough to be a paratrooper. At which point, I'm paraphrasing here, but Roy says something along the lines of, well, I could cut you down to my size and we'll see if you're good enough to be a paratrooper. Maybe that'll help you make your decision. At which point,
The audacity! The audacity! The audacity of this man! I could cut you down to my size. Fuck, dude. You know what? You know what, though? You know what? Listen. Short, or well, not short, but small, I would say, right? Whether it's like you're really like skinny or if you're high, I don't know. Did it say how tall he was? But Mexicans, right? That you don't want to piss them off. I like Mexican men that are small. Roy is an incredible figure, Pixie. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I gotta see his height. He was 5'6". Okay, so he wasn't short. He wasn't short. He was like average. If he was like super skinny though, yeah, bro. I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with him. Can't help but respect it. LOL. Yeah. The Army is full of stories of guys with this attitude of getting stuff done and not letting anyone get in their way. I'd save that for the next time someone calls me short if I wasn't tall. He was shorter than me. LOL. Yeah, he was 5'6". I just googled it right now. But he was 5'6". Oh, Day, there's a memorial stone that reads what? I personally don't fuck with Mexicans that are small. Don't do it. By signing the Declaration of Independence, the 56 Americans pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. It was no idle pledge. 9 signers died of wounds during the Revolutionary War. 5 were captured or imprisoned. Wives and children were killed, jailed, mistreated, or left penniless. 12 signers' houses were burned to the ground. 17 lost everything they owned. No signer defected. Their honor, like their nation, remained intact. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Height means nothing if you got that dog in you. Seriously. If you got that dog in you, it doesn't matter about height. Listen, my brother is 5'7", right? My brother, Tommy, he's 5'7", dude. That motherfucker is one of the strongest motherfuckers I have ever met in my life. And I'm not saying that just because he's my brother. Like, I'm not saying that to just hype him up. That motherfucker is a tank. He is built like Superman, bro. We literally nicknamed that motherfucker Superman. Okay? He is built like Superman. He's a tank. He is a tank, bro. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. But when he was younger, he was a lot like skinnier. But like as he's gotten older, he's like I'm not gonna say thickened up because he's not fat at all. He's pure muscle, bro. That motherfucker is ripped. Super tank, yeah. Like, I mean, you guys will see when we go to the convention in Texas, because, by the way, we are going to a convention in Texas in person this year, in December. So you guys get ready for that. But we're going to be going, and you guys are going to see my brother. My brother's going to be there. And, yeah, Tommy, he's single, right? He is. He is single, actually. But he's only into women. But he does kiss the homies goodnight. Those who died on duty, we salute you. Amen. I agree. Hi, PL. Hello. Best way to fight against a short powerhouse is to use their stamina against them. That's fair. That's fair. That's actually fair. Yeah. No, the only way we were able to beat Tommy, like, in the pool is if all of us, like, gang piled on him and we waited until he was tired. So that's very true, actually. Oh, the battles were hard. The battles were long and hard. The founders, Pixie, gave up everything to this country. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. I love the stories of the founding fathers. It's really good. The founders.
At which point, I'm paraphrasing here, but Roy says something along the lines of, well, I could cut you down to my size and we'll see if you're good enough to be a paratrooper. Maybe that'll help you make your decision. At which point, the Marine recruiter overhears that and he comes walking over and is like, son, you should be a Marine. You've got the right attitude. I don't care how big you are. You should come be a devil dog with me. At which point Roy's like, no, I don't want to be a Marine. I want to be in the Army just like Audie Murphy was, which brings everything full circle because Audie Murphy was rejected from the Marines for being too small. And now Roy Benavidez is rejecting the Marines because he wants to be like Audie Murphy. Then the other Army recruiter, who's a captain, an officer, somebody that outranks the sergeant that thinks Roy's too small, comes in and he's like, no, we'll take him. Come with me. So they go, they start doing the paperwork, and Roy's like, okay, I'm a corporal in the National Guard. I've already been through basic training. I've already done through job training. You should just be able to send me straight to airborne school and then give me a duty station. And the recruiter's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Roy signs on the dotted line. He packs his shit. He gets on the bus and he's off to the Army. And Roy then immediately finds out the hard way that recruiter was either not listening to him at all or he was lying to him because they sent Roy straight to basic training again. And to add insult to injury, he is also not awarded an airborne slot after that, so he's not going to be a paratrooper like he always wanted to. After he gets done with training, he immediately gets sent over to Korea, where he is going to be there right after the Korean War ended, and he's going to be manning the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, between what is now North and South Korea. He's in Korea for a year, then he comes back home for a little bit stateside, then they ship him out to Germany, and while he's there, he learns how to speak German, and in Roy's own words, he becomes the first Hispanic American that could speak German with a Southern accent.
Correcto.
He gets done in Germany, he comes back home, he goes to military police school, becomes an MP, and he gets assigned to basically being a glorified chauffeur for high-ranking military officers, generals, colonels, etc. And then randomly, one day, a couple months out from his contract being up with the Army, he's trying to decide whether or not he wants to re-enlist, and this General Westmoreland, asks him, you ever thought about being a paratrooper? And Roy's like, yeah, actually, that's the only reason I'm here. I wanted to do that. I kind of got screwed out of it. I'm thinking about re-enlisting, and if I re-enlist, I really want to be able to become a paratrooper. To which the general kind of like doesn't even really continue the conversation. He's just like, huh. Well, that's neat. Anyways, we're at the airport now. I gotta go. Bye. And then Roy never sees this guy ever again. A couple months later, Roy's contract is about to be up. He has to decide if he's gonna re-enlist or if he's gonna get out. And his potential re-enlistment contract, there's an airborne packet courtesy of General Westmoreland. If he decides to re-enlist, he will get to go to airborne school and he will get to become a paratrooper.
That's awesome. Something about a man of few words. I love men that have few words, you know, because they're just like, huh, that's nice. Gotcha. Okay, and they just do things. They just plot it, and you're not even expecting it. A recruiter lying? Say it ain't so. Yeah, seriously. What an arse. Right time, right place. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I had a burp for a second. That's actually true. You have to redo basic if you switch through branches. Really? Really, huh? Howdy day and gang. Hi, Nuke. Hello. Did you know Thomas Jefferson was a huge fuckboy? Yes. He was known to hire MILFs, and women even said he was goated. Yeah, I do know that. I actually did know that. Don't worry about it, princess. It'll get done. Yeah, seriously. Let's be real. They sent him to basic training because he mouthed off, lol. Whether they deserved it or not. Yeah. They just didn't like the attitude. They just didn't like the attitude. And the Marines are like, we love the attitude around here. I love Marines. Marines are so funny to me because they're the type to where, like, if you have a helmet, they're gonna grab you by your helmet and just, like, helmet butt you and be like, ugh! Like, they remind me of, like, turtles from Nemo, you know? Now give me some head. Noggin. Dude. Like, that's what Marines remind me of. Oh, they love the attitude. They just need to shape it a bit. Exactly. Well, a man of culture, that Thomas Jefferson. Are you into MILFs as well? Are you into MILFs as well? Is that what you're saying? Are you admitting this live on the stream right now? Tiny Pixie, I like men that shut up. Listen, I'm a yapper. I'm a yapaholic. Okay? I need a man that's that's like few of words, okay? So that way I can be the yapaholic. You so totally wrong, dude. Exactly. You get it, Snowman. You get it. Who the fuck isn't into MILFs? Fair point. I mean, if they're down, I won't deny. Y'all are degenerates. Degenerates, a lot of you. Gosh damn it. What you watching? I'm watching the real Rambo, Roy Benavides, by the Fat Electrician. Snowman, I see what you're playing. Subnautica 2, are you? Grab a shell, dude. MILFs where? Me, totally. Listen. I get it. I respect it. Let us continue. I'm old. It's all that seems to be in my rage. Indeed I am. Yaxine. Military movies where they bang the magazine on their helmets. That's a real thing to do. It's to make sure the bullets are lined up so they don't jam up on their weapon. Speaking of hitting things on the helmet, lol. Degenerates, you say? I have been summoned. Damn it. Again, Quibbles. Due to the recent events, I plead the fifth. Fair enough. Older ladies. And I don't need to out myself when I made my interest known already. Mid-30s is fun. 30 flirty and thriving, baby. 30 flirty and thriving. I get it. I understand it. Meals are hot.
If he's going to get out and his potential re-enlistment contract, there's an airborne packet courtesy of General Westmoreland. If he decides to re-enlist, he will get to go to airborne school and he will get to become a paratrooper. So that's what he does. He goes to airborne school, gets his jump wings, becomes a full-fledged paratrooper, and then he gets stationed with the legendary 82nd Airborne Division out of Fort Liberty, sorry. Okay, sidebar. Look, I don't care if we're going to be renaming stuff every once in a while. That's completely fine. However, name it after a war hero or something. Don't just pick a generic term like Liberty, okay? I don't need Fort Liberty. I don't need Fort Life. I don't need Fort Pursuit of Happiness, okay? Quit doing generic shit and name it after an actual badass war hero. Anyways, Roy's at Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, North Carolina. He is with the 82nd Airborne. During this time, he's training, he's working, he's doing his thing. He also ends up meeting his wife, and he goes about this the old school way. He has to have chaperone meetings with her until he earns enough street cred to finally be able to sit on the front porch of her parents' house with her. Her name is Lala. They get married, she ends up getting pregnant, things are going exactly how they're supposed to go. And then in 1965, Roy gets deployed to Vietnam at the age of 30. Roy gets sent over there as an advisor. He's going to be training the South Vietnamese in how to fight back against the North Vietnamese and hopefully prevent the spread of communism. That's the plan. So he starts training these guys, he's working with them, and it gets to the point that he has to end up going out on some of these missions with them because they need a leader. They need somebody with more experience to go out and show them how it's done. And he does that multiple times. And then one day he's walking through the jungle and all of a sudden, Roy has no idea what's going on. 1 second, he's in South Vietnam on a mission. The next second, he's in a hospital in the Philippines, and everything goes by in a blur, and before he knows it, he's in San Antonio at the Fort Sam Houston Medical Center. At this point, Roy still has no idea what's going on. Doctors and nurses are coming and going. There's some pregnant woman named Lala that's trying to hang out with him all day long, and he's just not comprehending anything that's happening to him. Roy's wife, Lala, would be informed that Roy had stepped on a landmine in South Vietnam during one of their patrols, and they don't know how he survived, but the going theory was that it was some type of defect with the landmine, that when it exploded, the entire landmine didn't fragment, but the top of it stayed intact as one solid metal plate, and when he stepped on it, it detonated it, and the landmine plate shot up and smacked him on the ass so hard that it broke his back and jolted his brain so severely that they don't think he'll ever regain his memory. In addition to that, due to his broken back, he would almost certainly never be able to walk again, even if he did come to mentally. And this goes on for weeks of Lala showing him pictures, telling him stories, trying to remind him of who he was. And then one day, he just wakes up. He snaps out of it. He's sitting in a rehab room at the hospital by himself at a table, and in front of him, there's like the child's toy, you know, the big rectangle with like the cylinders and the squares and the triangles, and you shove each one through the corresponding shape. He's sitting there with that in front of him, and the PT person is like, "Can you put the shapes through there, Roy?" And he's like, "Yeah, obviously I could put the shapes through there." And they're like, "Well, why don't you go ahead and do it?" He's like, "What, am I applying to get into the Marine Corps? Like, what is happening right now? Why do you think I can't do that?" And they're like, "Well, just go ahead and do it." So he does it. And he's like, "Okay. Obviously, what is happening right now?" They then explain to him that he has been unable to do that for weeks every single time they've got him to try, and Roy is just like literally snapped out of it like that. He's 100% mentally all there. He just doesn't remember the accident itself. He remembers everything else. So Roy's back. This is great. Now he just wants to get back up on his feet. He wants to keep...
Oh my gosh, dude. Listen, here's like another thing that I think we should talk about since it's Memorial Day, right? The wives and the families of our veterans and our soldiers, dude, especially the wives, bro, they have to sit there and prepare for the worst. And this was a worst case scenario at first, you know? Like, imagine the love of your life just not remembering who you are, not being able to go, like, not able to remember any of that, you know? And having to sit there and fight beside them and not knowing if they'll ever come back. You know? That is horrifying. That is horrifying. That is a lot of pressure. I genuinely tip my hat to anybody that can go through that. And, you know, to all the families out there as well that go through the hell of, you know, trying to keep it together for their soldier. Like, dude, mad respect. It's horrible to experience. Oh, I bet. I sadly had to do the burial duties for fallen soldiers and give the flag to widows. That's so sad, dude. They go through hell. Imagine going off to fight off communism only to come back to your own country, and the communists are teaching your own children lies to make them think communism is great and totally didn't starve 100 million civilians. Yeah, even though it wasn't this bad, my dad had bad PTSD after Operation Desert Storm. He had to sleep on the couch for 2 months. So sad, dude. It's so sad. Yeah, bro had a hard reset. He did. Ugh, my heart. I'm glad that he was able to recover from this, but there are so many situations and so many times where that just isn't the reality of it, you know? Unfortunately, a lot of the times things don't go according to plan, you know? He's one of the lucky ones. Yeah, exactly. My friend who served and nearly died, his own family teaches his grandkids he's a murderer. What? That's so ridiculous. It makes me mad they say this. People are stupid.
That for weeks every single time they've got him to try, and Roy is just like literally snapped out of it like that. He's 100% mentally all there. He just doesn't remember the accident itself. He remembers everything else. So Roy's back. This is great. Now he just wants to get back up on his feet. He wants to keep serving in the army. He wants to keep jumping out of planes. He wants to go back to Vietnam and be with his guys, and that's just how Roy is. So he demands that they start giving him physical therapy as soon as possible, and that's what he does. And over the course of a couple weeks, he comes to the painful realization that these physical therapists aren't getting him ready ready to walk and run and be in the army again. They're getting him mentally ready to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. The doctors are telling him he's never going to walk again. He's going to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair, and he needs to accept that. But Roy's not buying it. If they're not going to push him to get the results that he wants, he's going to push himself. The night nurses come in, they catch him, they give him a pill, they knock him out, they put him to sleep. He wakes up the next morning, his hip hurts from where he fell out of bed, and his leg muscles are sore from bearing weight for the first time in months. But the plus side, his hip hurts and his legs are sore, so obviously they're gonna work if he just keeps building them up stronger and stronger. So that's what he does every night. He rolls out of bed, he drags himself across the floor, lifts himself up, and puts as much weight on his legs as he possibly can. Sometimes the nurses catch him and try to put him back to sleep. The nurses are getting pissed off at him because he keeps doing this, but his legs keep getting stronger and stronger, and he's able to make it over to the nightstand faster and faster. And it gets to the point where all the other guys in this medical bay realize what he's doing, and they start cheering him on at night. Nobody's ratting him out. They're trying to distract the nurses to get Roy the time that he needs to be able to do his version of physical therapy. And this goes on for months. During the day, they're getting him ready for his life in a wheelchair. He's begging them just more time for more PT and he'll be able to walk again. They're not buying it. They're doing the paperwork in the background to get him med boarded out of the US Army. They know that he's done. But Roy never gives up on himself, and he keeps training every single night. Then, after having been in the hospital for 5 months, the doctor walks in with Roy's discharge papers. Roy begs and he pleads not to discharge him out of the army, and the doctor finally says, Roy, even if we continue doing PT, at best, maybe you'll be able to stand up one day. You're never going to be able to walk again. At that point, Roy hops up out of the bed, stands directly in front of the doctor, and takes one step towards him. And it was one of the most excruciating pains that he's ever felt in his entire life. He's got tears in his eyes, but he's looking this doctor right in his face. And the doctor, shocked that Roy hopped out of bed and took a step towards him, says, Benavidez, if you can walk out of this room, I'll tear these papers up. So Roy walked out of that room.
Oh, bang! Hold on now, hold on. Oh, that hurt. Walk it off. Hey, man, you can walk.
Shortly after that, he walked.
That is next level strength, bro. That is next level strength. Holy shit. You know, and I think that's one thing. So many people want to just give up, you know? So many people want to give up and just put a band-aid over it and be like, sorry, these are the results. No. I have seen so many people fight through things and fight over things to get out of it. It's excruciating, and I don't understand how some people do it, but some people just have that inner level of desire to just grow and fight through it, to be able to push past their limitations. That is not something everyone can do, but damn, is it inspirational when they can do it. Such strength, both physically and mentally. Yeah. Roy went and said, wanna bet? And it's so sad that, like, clearly this is all he wanted. You know, he just wanted to keep serving. My ex's dad did convoy security in Nam. He told me things that he never told his wife. Some things you can say to another vet you would never be able to tell your woman. She needs you to be okay, so you are. My friend went to work for Airplanes Company and got to even help on a plane that wasn't adopted for the Air Force. He got better, and I plan to ask him this year, finally, what he went through, if he is comfortable with it. I want him to feel safe in telling me while he is still around. Yeah, it's good to learn their stories. It's good to learn your family stories, you know? My grandfather was an artilleryman, got called up in August 1939, defended Poland for 2 weeks, got shot, unconscious. They sent him to Romania. From there, he's sent to France, captured in Belgium, kept as a prisoner of war in Krems, sent to Agrel work near Hamburg, returned, married my grandma, and they had one child, my mom. Granny waited the whole war for him. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful, man. That's so beautiful. I find veterans inspiring to talk to. They are my heroes. I agree. Great strength, absolutely, but it's kind of weird that he wants to go back and not spend a little time with his pregnant wife. You'll think you want to spend time with her after a landmine? Well, here's the thing, right? Yes, I'm sure he would have loved to spend more time with his wife, right? But now he has a son on the way. Now he has a baby to take care of. Babies aren't cheap, bro. You're gonna have to have some type of job, and what kind of job are you gonna take after this? You know? It's gonna be hard if he doesn't push through. Like, that's something, like, you gotta take into consideration, is he probably was the breadwinner for them, you know? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Babies are super cheap. You can make them for free. Shut up. Shut up. Ooh. My friend's dad met and married a Korean woman, carried her out of North Korea. Really? Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy, actually. That's crazy. Good for him, though.
Oh, bang! Hold on now. Hold on. Oh, that hurt. Walk it off. Hey, man. You can walk.
Shortly after that, he walked out of that hospital and went back to Fort Bragg. Obviously, he gets assigned a desk job, but despite that, Roy's going to do the best job he can no matter what tasks they give him. So he crushes that job the best he can, and when he goes home at night, he continues to train. First, he starts walking a couple miles a day. Then he's walking 5 miles a day. Then he's running 5 miles a day. Then he's running 10 miles a day and doing 500 push-ups in a single day, every day. And he works himself up to being just as fast, just as strong as he ever was. And then, since he did such a good job at that desk job, he kind of figured out how things worked. And then wouldn't you know it, one day, out of the blue, Roy Benavidez' name ended up on a manifest to do one of the jumps for the 82nd Airborne's training. Not just one manifest, but 3. Roy did 3 jumps in a single day after having broken his back.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
And after having done that, Roy sits back, relaxes, reflects on his achievement. No, I'm just kidding. He goes out and decides that he wants to become a Green Beret now. So he goes off to Special Forces selection and he makes it. He passes. He becomes a Green Beret. On one hand, absolutely incredible. It is almost unbelievable that he's able to accomplish this. On the other hand, it's obvious that he was going to be able to accomplish this, right? Because if you don't know about these Special Forces groups, it's never like the fastest, the strongest, the freak athlete that ends up making these Special Forces units. It's always just that tough farm kid that you're going to have to kill to get him to stop. It's that person that's never going to quit. And if there was ever a embodiment of that archetype of person, it's Roy Benavidez, okay? Homie stepped on a landmine and literally walked it off. Of course he had what it took to become a Green Beret. That's just to get selected to be in the unit though, so then he has to go off and get all of his other training. He becomes a linguist, he gets cross-trained as a medic, he gets trained on every heavy weapon system, he becomes trained in military intelligence, the gathering of information. So he gets done with all this training, then he gets orders that he is going to be deploying to Central America. Here's the problem, Roy doesn't want to deploy to Central America, Roy wants to go back to Vietnam. So Roy goes back to that very same office that he worked in for a little while he was training before he became a Green Beret, and wouldn't you know it, somehow or another his orders got changed and he was sent to Vietnam instead.
It's me.
But Roy wasn't just going to be going to Vietnam, he was going to be going to other countries neighboring Vietnam, like Cambodia. Roy was part of MACV-SOG. Okay, real quick, for those that don't know, MACV-SOG at this point in time is America's premier top secret special forces group, okay? They take all the best guys from all the other special forces, the Army Rangers, the Marine Raiders, the Green Berets, the Navy SEALs. They take their best guys and they put them in this unit together as like America's special forces dream team. Basically, they're the ones doing all the stuff that America's not doing. You know? This group is so secretive that nobody even knew that these guys existed until like 30 years after Vietnam. Okay, SOG, everybody thinks it stands for Special Operations Group. That's not what it stands for. It stands for Studies and Observations Group. And they did that on purpose because they wanted it to sound like some nerd shit. That way, if a politician or a high-ranking officer that wasn't supposed to be in the know read that on a document, they weren't going to ask any questions. During Vietnam, these guys had a 150-to-1 kill-death ratio. For every MACV-SOG member that went down, 150 enemies went down first. And they do all kinds of different crazy stuff during Vietnam, but when Roy
150 men went down first? For every one? Huh? How is that possible? Oh my god. And you know what's crazy? You know what's real crazy? The fact there's probably a group like that right now, and we're not gonna know about that group until they disband. That's Warhammer numbers. Yeah, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. They were Elite Pixie. Dude, I think so too. They're built different. They're built different, bro. No, thank you. No, thank you. You should react to the military animals. What's that? Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy numbers. Max Vog were badasses. They never went into Cambodia, North Vietnam, ever. Remember, Green Berets were the first elite special forces before Navy SEALs? And he wanted Vietnam. He wanted the Vietnam rematch? Yeah, he did. He did. Definition of skill issue to the Viet Cong? Yes. You'll never be able to walk again him. Hold my beer. Watch this. My great-grandma was opposing my grandparents' marriage. She wanted my grandma to marry a landowner, and my grandma opposed her. My grandpa was called behated son-in-law. Aw, I'm sorry. Also, he's not wrong. Farm boy strength is some different stuff. Oh, no, I know. Farm boy strength, that's what my brother has. That's what I'm saying. My brother has farm boy strength. Farm boy strength is crazy. Crazy. They don't even gotta look like they're built, dude. They don't even gotta look like they're built. They just have that fucking dog in them, bro. No, they never were. They were never there. Wink. Gotcha. I know farmers in their 80s who would still wreck me. Seriously, dude. Farmers they're just built different, dude. They're built different. I gotta say, the farmers are built different. As a country girl, I get it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I tried so hard. I can't help but love it. I love being a country girl, alright? Listen, I do.
Gonna ask any questions. During Vietnam, these guys had a 150-to-1 kill-death ratio. For every MACV-SOG member that went down, 150 enemies went down first. And they do all kinds of different crazy stuff during Vietnam, but when Roy gets linked up with them, they're working in Cambodia. Okay, real brief, oversimplified version of what's going on here. You have the NVA, the North Vietnamese Army, and they are trying to supply the Viet Cong, the guerrilla fighters in South Vietnam, with a bunch of supplies. Now, they have two options. They can punch through the front line, fight through all the American defenses to deliver these supplies. Doesn't sound like a very good time. Or they could cheat. They could just cut right over into Laos and then travel through this neutral territory with no resistance, and then travel into Cambodia, more neutral territory with no resistance, penetrate way past all the American front lines, deep into South Vietnam, and then cut back in and drop off all the supplies. Okay, and to be fair, that's a brilliant plan, because there's not a whole lot America can do to stop it, right? Because the only thing America really can do is to send their troops into Cambodia and Laos, and that's not going to be a very popular idea, considering that most of America's mad that they're in Vietnam in the first place. They're definitely not going to support invading two more countries. So if America wants to stop this, the only thing they can do is to send their own guys into this neutral territory where they're not supposed to be to cut off this supply line. And then, even if they do run into each other in this neutral territory, it just turns into the Spider-Man meme, right? Hey, you're not supposed to be here. No, you're not supposed to be here. And then everybody's just as guilty of breaking the same rules. It's a really good plan on their part. Okay, but here's the problem with this whole thing. America cares a lot more about not getting caught in these neutral territories than the North Vietnamese do. Because of this, the Americans are only sending in very, very small groups of men, like 12 guys or less, whereas the North Vietnamese are sending in entire companies. They're sending in hundreds of guys. So this makes it impossible for the Americans to directly confront the North Vietnamese. So rather than confronting them, they start stalking them. They start tracking them down and following them, writing down what their most commonly used paths are, what they're dropping off, where they're dropping it off. They try to memorize all their different routes. They try to figure out anything and everything they can about their operations inside of Laos and Cambodia. So that goes on for a while, and then somebody gets the bright idea of like, hey, we know where all the enemy's ammunition is. What if we just snuck in a bunch of defective ammunition that blew up when they tried to fire it, and then it would not only take care of some of the enemy troops that got messed up from, a howitzer round blowing up or ammunition blowing up or defective ammo, and they go and try to get into a firefight, then the Americans are guaranteed to win. There's that aspect, but then there's also the psychological aspect of the enemy isn't going to trust their own supply line anymore. So then that goes on for a little while, and then eventually the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong figure out that the Americans are doing this, so they start sending out their best guys, their equivalent of MACV-SOG, and they send them out into these neutral territories to try to hunt and kill the American MACV-SOG operators. Because of that, the MACV-SOG casualty rate goes up, and at one point, it was actually reported as being a 100% casualty rate. If you were in MACV-SOG during this era, there was a 100% likelihood that you were going to get injured or killed in the line of duty. A Purple Heart to these guys was just a rite of passage. So MACV-SOG starts taking more casualties, they realize they're being hunted, then they start doing countermeasures to prevent from being caught. They're having helicopters go in and pretend to drop off a bunch of operators when they're actually not doing it, basically spamming them. That way when they actually do go behind the line, the enemy's not going to know whether that was a fake drop-off or a real drop-off. So that's what's happening. There's like this shadow war going on in the neutral territories of Cambodia and Laos, and this is what's happening when Roy shows up. So 2 weeks into being there, Roy goes out on a mission, and one of the guys that he's with ends up getting shot up, and they have to get this guy medevaced, but they're still being attacked, so they can't go out in the open so a helicopter can land. So the helicopter has to drop what's called a Maguire rig. It's basically just a rope that these guys are going to hook onto, and they're going to pull them straight up out of the canopy of the jungle and fly off with them dangling underneath the helicopter like some badass Pinocchio. Now, usually when you do this, like you can see in this picture, you're stacked on top of one another on the same nylon rope, but for some reason on this day, they dropped 2 nylon ropes. Roy hooked the other guy that's injured up to one, and he hooked himself up to the other. And Roy probably didn't even realize that there was 2 ropes. He just saw a bunch of nylon rope everywhere. He hooked both of them up, and they were going to take off. So they get pulled up out of the canopy, they take off headed towards camp, but because they're each on a different rope, the ropes end up getting crossed and the nylon ropes start rubbing together. And when nylon rubs up against nylon, it melts because it's plastic. So these ropes are going to end up snapping, and Roy and his buddy are both going to fall to their death unless they can land and get this figured out, and they can't land because they're still being shot at. Now, luckily for Roy and the other guy, the belly man in that helicopter was another one of Roy's friends, a sergeant by the name of Leroy Wright, and he noticed what was going on, and he ties himself off to a 3rd rope and lowers himself out of the helicopter in between the other 2 nylon ropes, allowing his body weight to untangle the ropes as he lowered himself down, saving all 3 of them.
Holy shit, that's some quick thinking, bro. That's some quick thinking. That is some quick thinking. I literally am like fucking over here perplexed and shit. Like, I was just wondering, I was like, what the fuck can you do in that situation? They're gonna die. Dude, I swear, like, again, this is where I just say I tip my fucking hat to them, because I would have never in a million years thought of that. See, I'm the type of person where whenever I'm trying to think of like a strategy or a solution, I tend to do things the hard way. This is some common sense shit where it's just like, yeah, just do this and everything's gonna work out. I am so not the person to be in that type of situation. I would have fucked it up. I would have fucked it up so bad, bro. This is my favorite part. There is so much wild stuff just lost in history. I love this part. I don't think so, because I think the Huey helicopter was introduced in the Vietnam War of how versatile it was in the jungle. He has a couple of videos of military animals, especially one with Sergeant Stubby and chimps. Oh, right. Okay, that's with like the animals. These risky calls are exactly what the army wanted, and officers tried to teach it too. That's fair. I came here because some chatter mentioned you're a hentai voice actor. Congrats on the promotion, bro. What? I'm not. Hold on. I am not a hentai voice actor. Wait, Control C. Wait. You can't just follow me. You can't just follow me. Ah, that's not me. That's not. I'm not. Anyways, have a wonderful evening. Good night. I swear I'm dying. Good night. I'm not a hentai voice actor. See you on Instagram. Okay, bye. hentai, but she said nothing about hentai voice acting. I don't do hentai voice acting. I don't even have the voice for it, bro. Please believe me. Do you think you'll get a recast? Oh my god. You probably could voice act pretty well, to be fair. I could voice act, but I'm sorry, I just saw your Insta reel and I just had to do it. No, I know what you're referencing. I appreciate Control Z. First off, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome, but holy shit, that caught me off guard so bad, bro. That caught me off guard. Holy shit, plot twist, Day does the Shota in hentai dubs. What's up, everybody? Oh yeah, do you like it like that? Oh my god, bro. I'm going. I'm just, you know what? Actually, guys, I hate to be that person. But I think that it's time for me to leave. I do think it's time for me to leave, and like I'll miss y'all. Goodbye, cruel world. Goodbye, cruel world. First off, Justin, I'm going to smite you. I love that H anime you did. I'll make sure not to tell them where it is. I've never been on H anime. Stop! Guess Grizz just got a second channel. Well, it was nice knowing you, Jay. That face though, dude. I saw Justin's post. H anime, bro. I've never been there, I swear. Dude. Oh my god. I'm never living this down. Gosh damn it. And you yelled at me for the group chats I'm in, yet you VC hentai. I don't! You gotta believe me! You gotta! Then how do you know what it is, Nate? I don't know what H anime is! What is H anime? What's that? Genuine question. I don't know! Living down somewhere, alright? This is ridiculous. Are you subbing or dubbing? ¡Cállate la boca! ¡Píchame de agua! ¡Cállate! Oh my god, bro. I don't do that. My mom would hurt me. My mom would backhand me if I did stuff like that. My mama would be very, very disappointed in me if I became a lewd tuber. So we ain't doing that shit, dude. You keep saying ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So now that I'm back, how much money to read off of a script I made with what character for a fan arc script? It depends on the script. I'm so annoyed right now using a new laptop to stream tomorrow, and for some reason it won't download OBS. Ooh, good luck. Only phase? No! You're gonna catch the fade. OBS is fried sometimes, yeah. But it would be better if you're downloading OBS off Steam, it'd be better to download OBS like straight up from the software. Pixie shot me again. Good job. Yo, what's her only day? Stop! No, I'm not. I'm not going. What if it's like a cute read-off? I don't know. You're gonna have to show me. You're gonna have to show me. Of course she subs. She could never be a dom. What the fuck? Why are you guys like this? Why? Y'all hate me. All of you hate me. Editor who edits this video, please put that clip in. You all hate me. Karma, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Shumi Army. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Day. Hi, Karma. Hello. How are you? If you were to ship a character to yourself, what would you choose? Female or male? That's the real question. Which one? Only phase? I must know the link for research. Oh my god, guys. We don't do that! I mean, really proving chat's point, don't matter. If it's female, Freerin. If it's male, Sung Jiwoo from Solo Leveling. No, I love you, not love. I love. Christian VTuber, by the way. Okay, shut up! Be careful, Day. You don't know who will edit this one. Vegeta? Ooh, Vegeta is good. Vegeta is also good. It makes sense. Of course she'd ship Sung. Yeah, listen. Shut it. All of you guys be quiet, alright? Listen. Chat making Jesus cry. I'm trying to behave. Alright, bye, Sheegan. Good night, sweet dreams. I swear, I swear, guys, I'm a wholesome VTuber. Ugh. Anyways, going back to Zenless, so I'll check y'all later. Have fun bullying your only friend. Bye, Control Z. Good night, sweet dreams. Bye bye. Everyone, get on the bus. You're trying but failing miserably. I'm trying my best. Day, you are sweet and innocent. I am sweet and innocent. I swear. I am. Oh. You're basically the Nanners Say So song. Oh my gosh. Am I VTuber? Vegeta tuber? I'm a wholesome VTuber. You have a bricked up command. Shut up, man. Whoa. Okay, maybe I deserve that one. Damn it. Alright, let's get back into it. Gosh damn it, guys. Tiny Pixie Day for YouTube, Tiny Pixie Night for the other ones. Stop!
Body weight to untangle the ropes as he lowered himself down, saving all three of them. 2 days after that, Roy wakes up in his cot. Time to go get breakfast. He heads off towards the chow hall.
We don't have the budget for that.
And everything just starts scrambling. There's radio transmissions coming in saying it's a Daniel Boone tactical emergency. Daniel Boone is the name of the operation in Cambodia. You're not supposed to be saying that over the radio, period, which means that shit has really hit the fan somewhere. Everybody around him starts scrambling. Helicopters start going out and helicopters start coming back in, all shot up with injured men on them. And Roy goes up to one of these helicopters trying to figure out what's going on. And the door gunner in this helicopter falls out, and it's a 19-year-old kid that Roy remembered they just celebrated his birthday like a week ago. And this kid falls into Roy's arms and dies on the spot. Roy asks the rest of the helicopter crew what's going on, what's happening, and they tell him that there's a team out there that's getting overrun by hundreds of NVA. So Roy continues to ask him, what team? Who's out there? Did you pick them up? Are they here now? What's going on? And they go, no, we couldn't get close enough to pick these guys up. They were so overrun and we were taking too much fire from the helicopters. We don't know who it was, but it was the big black dude that saved you the other day. And Roy immediately knows They're talking about Leroy, and his entire team is still out there. So Roy asks them, are you going back out there? And they said, yeah, we're going to go back out there, but we're not going to be able to land. The only thing we're going to be able to do is drop ammunition out of the helicopter above them so they have ammunition to keep fighting. And to Roy Benavidez, it sounds an awful lot like somebody needs help. And with that, he runs over, grabs his medical bag, jumps in the helicopter, and they take off. A couple minutes into the flight there, Roy realizes that in his hurry to run and grab his aid bag so that he could help, he made a mistake. A really, really big mistake. He forgot his gun.
God damn it!
He is now in a helicopter flying into combat with no gun, no food, no water, no grenades.
my God.
He literally has an 8-inch recon knife and his aid bag, and that is it. Despite that, Roy is still determined to help these guys. So they get there, they drop the ammunition out.
How can you just leave your gun? How can you just leave your gun, Roy? Oh my God, dude. I would literally be sitting there panicking. I would be panicking. I would be so panicking. Also, Karma, oh my gosh. I don't know if you remember, but I'm that same motherfucker you saw 3 different times that we've... Of course I remember you, Karma. Hi. Oh my God. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having a good night. Hello. Oh my God. Hello. It was a hurry, Pixie? Yeah, to even the odds. God had to nerf him somehow, I guess, right? He was more focused on making sure they ended up getting help. Yeah, well, fair. Yes, confirmed Day is the confirmed best with Vegeta. I do love Vegeta. I do love Vegeta. That's true. You can't always grab everything in a hurry. Yeah, but like, dude. Honestly, I do that. I'd probably forget to bring a gun to a war zone and panic. He can just easily grab an AK off of them. Oh, yeah. Well, like, for me, right? Like, if I forgot my gun, I think I would just do the 1,000-yard stare just at the wall. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I just, oh my God. 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 You know, like, it would just, like, slowly progress into, you know? Feeling cute, might raid the White House while blasting Fetty Wap on my JBL later. Well, that sounds fun and wholesome. Speaking from experience, when you have a life-threatening experience, you tend to not think about everything. That's fair. At the time, maybe the helicopter has a gun attached to it. Oh, yeah. Then go, well, these hands are ready for everyone. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Just... There's no other thing that I can do. All I can do is just throw these hands, man. These hands were made. These hands are rated E for everybody. Everybody catching these hands. They catching strays. Left hook, right hook. Left hook, right hook. You know? Damn, dude. That's crazy. Oh, poor guy. Poor guy. I don't know how he's gonna make it out of this one. Has Day gotten to the episode? Tell me, Robot, do you feel fear? No.
8-inch recon knife and his aid bag, and that is it. Despite that, Roy is still determined to help these guys. So they get there, they drop the ammunition out of the side of the helicopter on top of these guys, and then they fly off. And Roy says, get me as close as you can and land this helicopter so I can jump out. And they get him like 150 yards away from where this team is injured and pinned down. And Roy jumps out of the helicopter and starts running towards them. He makes it 10 steps, gets shot, drops him. He got shot in the leg. He tells himself that he tripped and landed on a thorn bush, and he's not actually shot, but he knows he's shot. He keeps running towards them, and he makes it another 50 yards, and he gets shot again. This time, it's a glancing blow to his helmet. He doesn't know that yet. Maybe he got shot in the head. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was shrapnel. He has no idea. He'll figure it out later if he makes it. So he just keeps running to the team, and he finally ends up making it to him. So he makes it to where the team is pinned down. They're all spread out, way too far out. They're not in a defensive position. They're running out of ammunition. Every single person there is shot, blown up. Everybody is in horrible shape. So Roy gets to work. He picks up an AK-47 off a dead NVA soldier as he runs to each individual team member, giving them morphine, whatever medical aid he can, and then dragging them over to this anthill, this big pile of dirt, to get them in this defensive position where they're actually semi-close together and they can start fighting back. Roy ends up making it to the guy with the radio, and he's like, this is Tango. Mike, I've still got men on the ground. I need to get these guys medevaced. I have green smoke grenades. I'll pop them so you know where we're at. While the helicopters are on their way, Roy keeps going and getting more guys and dragging them back to the anthill, giving himself and everybody else morphine. The helicopters finally show up, the door gunners lay down suppressing fire, and Roy starts loading up the guys at the anthill onto the helicopter, but he still has more men out towards the bush line that he hasn't been able to make it to yet. So he gets all the guys on the helicopter, and then he tells the door gunner, hey, we still have men over there, cover me. And Roy takes off running next to the helicopter as the helicopter is gliding next to him, and him and the door gunner are returning fire into the wood line, trying to make it to the other men. So Roy and the helicopter make it to the last guy that Roy knows of, and it's not Leroy. So he asks this guy, where's Leroy at? And that guy points him towards the wood line and says he got hit back there, and he's got a bunch of confidential classified information on him. So Roy decides that he's gonna go get it. He takes off running towards where this guy pointed him out in the wood line, but the helicopter can't follow because it can't get that close to the trees. So the helicopter door gunner continues to lay suppressing fire while Roy runs into the tree line and finds Leroy's body. He gets all the classified intel off Leroy's body, and then he begins dragging Leroy's corpse towards the helicopter because he at least wants to bring his friend's body home. And then he gets shot in the back. As we all know, it's always darkest right before the dawn, but as we also all know, sometimes it's darkest right before it gets even fucking darker. After being shot, Roy turns around, realizing he's not going to be able to bring his friend's body back with him, and starts running towards the helicopter. And then he sees the helicopter pilot get shot through the window as the helicopter spins out of control and crashes. Roy makes it to the crash site, and everybody there that survived is pretty much ready to call it a day. They've accepted the fact that they're about to die, and Roy hasn't. He starts dragging everybody, getting them away from the burning helicopter and getting them into another defensive position so that they can fight back. He's going and getting AK-47s off of dead NVA soldiers, getting these guys guns. He has guys that can't even see. They're missing eyes, and he's just telling them, shoot that way. Under Roy's leadership, they start fighting back, and Roy starts calling in airstrikes, F-111s, F-4 Phantoms, gunships, anything and everything they have, and they just start bombing this tree line with all they've got. And they do it over and over, but the enemy soldiers just keep coming and coming. There's literally hundreds of them, and this goes on for hours. It's too hot for them to get a helicopter in there to load people up, and every time they bomb the tree line, more enemy soldiers run out of it towards Roy and his crew. And it gets to the point that they're literally using the dead bodies of soldiers as sandbags to stop bullets. Roy and the men on the ground don't realize it at this point in time, but the crews up in the gunships that are mowing down the forest that the enemies are coming from are starting to mow down so much vegetation that they're starting to see straight lines, which don't occur naturally in nature. These are bunkers with fortified machine gun positions. The MACV-SOG team didn't just stumble across an entire battalion of men. They walked right into an entire NVA base inside of Cambodia. Eventually, the air crews come to the realization that with this base there's got to be at least 1,000 men, an entire battalion there, and there's a road where they can bus in even more men for reinforcements. They're not going to be able to keep this up and get Roy and everybody else to be alive and handle this the right way. So the only thing that they can do is to have a carpet bomb of that forest, and at the exact same moment that those bombs start dropping, they're going to send in the helicopters to try to pick up Roy and everybody else. So a group of A-37 Super Tweets bomb the tree line as a Huey comes down, and Roy starts helping to load these men into the helicopter. Some of them have lost so much blood they can't even pick themselves up. And while this is happening, the North Vietnamese soldiers rush them. They're coming straight towards the helicopter. They're firing. Roy's trying to load the men on while firing back. The door gunner's returning fire, and one of them ends up making it to Roy, and for some reason, whether he was out of ammo or whether he was trying to take an American alive, he hits Roy in the back of the head with the buttstock of his rifle. Roy falls down, and then he swings it again at Roy's face, dislocating his jaw. Roy, somehow still conscious, gets up, starts trying to wrestle this guy to the ground. He lost his gun. All he has is his recon knife, and this guy's got his rifle with a bayonet on it. And the enemy soldier goes to lunge at Roy with the bayonet, ends up cutting Roy's arm, and then Roy lunges at him, misses. The enemy soldier lunges back. He ends up stabbing Roy in the stomach with the bayonet, and Roy ends up getting to him with the recon knife, stabbing him in the chest and killing him. Roy pulls out the bayonet, can't get his recon knife out of this guy's chest, and he's now holding his intestines in his stomach with one hand. At this point, Roy's right next to the helicopter, and he's looking right at it. He should get in the helicopter, but he turns around away from the helicopter, and there's 2 Americans still out there returning fire that are able to fight. They're just not able to walk, and Roy runs towards them. Roy gets there, picks up the one that can't walk entirely, and starts helping to drag him towards the helicopter, and the other guy can't crawl, but he can't walk, so he literally starts walking on his knees using an AK-47 like it's a crutch. They get to the helicopter. Roy helps load them in the helicopter, grabs the AK-47 that the guy was using as a crutch, turns around again and starts shooting at NVA soldiers that are charging towards the helicopter.
Holy
as the injured
shit.
men behind him literally grab Roy and drag him into the helicopter as they take off. As it becomes clear to absolutely everyone that Roy Benavidez did not just bring a knife to a gunfight, the communists brought an army to a Roy Benavidez fight and still couldn't win. After saving all the surviving members of the original MACV-SOG team and the first helicopter crew, through 6 hours of combat, Roy has sustained over 37 different life-threatening injuries, multiple gunshot wounds, over 20 shrapnel wounds. He has been bayoneted and he has been clubbed, and after being dragged into the helicopter, he finally loses consciousness.
Just a flesh wound.
Seriously, dude, how do you do that? Listen, I'm sorry I couldn't pause throughout any of that because I just had to soak in all of that fucking information. That man is a fucking beast. He is a beast. That is a champion, bro. That is next level. Oh my gosh, adrenaline is a powerful drug? Yeah. Oh my god, dude. He got fucked up and he still didn't stop. Oh my gosh. Pixie, can I link Roy's book on Discord? Yeah, of course. Dang it, I made that just a flesh wound joke earlier. Yeah, it's just a flesh wound. Like, how? I knew you'd like this video. Dude, this man is a tank. Dude, so much fucking respect for this. This is what I mean. Like, listen. Again, I know I have viewers in all types of different countries. But one thing I love about Americans, like American soldier stories the most, is the amount of determination that they have in these battles. Like, there is something about the American spirit that just does not fucking break, bro. Like, they're like, I am not dying here. I'm not dying yet. Just one more. You know, I always think back to that movie. I forget his name. I'm so sorry. Y'all are probably gonna throw a brick at my head. But it's the Christian soldier who swore that he wasn't going to shoot a gun, but he goes in and he saves he saves everybody. And every time he got back up and was just like, one more. Desmond Doss, yes, thank you. Yes. He's just like, just one more body, Lord. Like, let me save one more person, you know? And that's like, seriously, it's just, let me get one more. Let me do one more. Let me keep going. One more. Hacksaw Ridge? Yes. Hacksaw Ridge. The Hacksaw Ridge guy. Yeah. Desmond Doss. And yeah, Desmond Doss, Lord, help me get one more. Exactly. Like, I think of that all the time when it comes to this. It's just like the American spirit, just one more time. One more. There is a Fat Electrician video on that guy's unit. Actually, I would love to watch that. We'll have to watch that next time, for sure. For sure. Oh my gosh. This is crazy.
Hours of combat, Roy has sustained over 37 different life-threatening injuries, multiple gunshot wounds, over 20 shrapnel wounds. He has been bayoneted and he has been clubbed. And after being dragged into the helicopter, he finally loses consciousness.
Just a flesh wound.
His next memory is being literally waist deep inside of a body bag as an American medic is zipping it up. His eyes are caked with blood and he can't open them. He can't talk to the medic because his jaw is dislocated and he's lost so much blood that he can't move. And from the medic's perspective, he doesn't even realize that Roy's an American because he's Hispanic, he's got the same skin tone as a North Vietnamese, and Roy's body is literally laying on top of 3 dead NVA soldiers that in Roy's fog of morphine and adrenaline, he loaded into the helicopter because he didn't want to leave anybody behind. Roy can literally feel the teeth on the zipper closing as it gets closer and closer to his head, and once the zipper reaches his neck, somebody stops the medic and says, "Hold on, that's Benavidez," and he instructs the medic to double check and make sure that Roy is actually dead. And the medic argues with him, and Roy's buddy says, I don't care, double check. And the medic zips down the body bag a little bit and puts his hand on Roy's chest and leans forward to listen and see if he can hear breathing. And at this moment, Roy takes what he describes as the best shot he's ever made in his entire life. He spits directly in that medic's face.
Give him that hawk.
And with that, they get Roy out of the body bag, they get him in the aid station, and they start trying to do everything they can for him, but they're almost positive that he's not going to make it. After his chain of command figured out everything that had happened and that Roy was pretty much the only reason that the 8 other men that survived made it out of there alive, immediately got him signed up to receive the Distinguished Service Cross. The only reason they didn't try to get him the Medal of Honor on the spot was because they didn't think Roy was going to survive, and they wanted to get him an award that they could give him in the field so that he could receive it before he passed away. But Roy Benavidez had other plans. He doesn't pass away. Instead, he recovers. And not only does he recover, he yet again refuses to get med boarded out of the Army into a medical retirement and continues to serve an additional 10 years in the United States Army. And during that time, they try to get him awarded the Medal of Honor because if anybody deserves it, it's this guy, right? But for some reason or another, it always ends up getting rejected, and it gets rejected again and again and over. They just keep rejecting his Medal of Honor. But there's nothing that Roy or anybody else could do. For some reason or another, the committee in charge of awarding the Medal of Honor simply did not want to give Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez the award that he had earned. So he did the only thing he could do. He just kept on keeping on. So he went on, served throughout the military until 1976 before finally retiring as Master Sergeant Benavidez, the recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross. As Roy retires, there was another press push about how incredible he was, wondering why he didn't earn the Medal of Honor, and this ends up connecting him with one of the men that he had saved that Roy actually thought had died. And this man gets a hold of Roy almost 12 years after the fact, and he tells Roy that he's going to write up everything that he witnessed and send it into this committee again. And yet again, even despite all this new information, the committee in charge of awarding the Medal of Honor rejected it again. And then they realized what they were doing wrong. They were telling the whole truth. They were saying that Roy hopped in a helicopter, flew into Cambodia, and helped save a bunch of MACV-SOG members. And as far as the US government's concerned at this point in time, up until like the mid-80s, MACV-SOG, A, doesn't exist, and B, if it did, it definitely would not be operating in a neutral territory like Laos or Cambodia because that was against the rules.
I can neither confirm nor deny details of any operation without the Secretary's approval.
So the politicians and the bureaucrats in charge realized that if they give Roy the Medal of Honor for saving MACV-SOG members in Cambodia, which wasn't supposed to be happening, there could be political backlash, and they're not going to metaphorically stick their necks on the line just to give Roy what he deserves, despite the fact that Roy put his entire life on the line for them. So bearing this in mind, they redo all the paperwork, they jump through all the hoops to try to get Roy the Medal of Honor again, and this time, rather than saying that Roy's courageous actions occurred in Cambodia, they simply said that they happened to the west of Lock-In Airfield, which was where Roy was stationed. They just didn't bother to say how far west. And once you know it, it gets approved. Roy Benavidez receives the Medal of Honor in 1981 from President Ronald Reagan, 15 years after the fact. After getting what he had earned, he finally gets to go home with his wife and kids and enjoy his retirement for all of like a year and a half. Because on a random day in 1983, he receives a letter in the mail from the US government informing him that he would not continue to receive his veterans disability benefits from his injuries that he sustained during the war. And Roy's not having it. He goes straight to the media, starts putting out press releases and giving interviews talking about how ridiculous this is and putting political pressure right back on the politicians. And wouldn't you know it, a couple weeks later, the US government comes out with a statement of like, oh hey, we're sorry that we're doing this. We haven't been handling it appropriately. We're going to continue to do it, but we're going to do it in a more humane way for everybody involved. And while I can't prove this, I'm willing to guarantee that Roy Benavidez got the notification of like, oh, sorry you got that letter. Obviously this doesn't apply to such a high profile person that's got enough leverage to be a pain in our ass. Here's your benefits, but we're going to go ahead and fuck everybody else. And Roy wasn't going to allow it. He came out and said that if they can try to do this to him, he can't imagine what they're going to try to do to everybody else. So he keeps fighting for not only himself, but for the other 350,000 veterans that were getting their benefits cut, right? Because they need help too, and Roy's gonna help them. So he keeps pushing and putting more pressure on the US government. Basically just comes out and says, hey, the same Ronald Reagan administration that gave me my Medal of Honor is now telling me and a bunch of other veterans that we're not good enough for the benefits that we earned. And with that, he finally gets to testify in front of the House Senate committee in charge of this entire operation, and they end up shutting the entire thing down, preserving the benefits for 350,000 veterans. And with that, Roy Benavidez could finally go home, enjoy his retirement, and live happily ever after. So, in conclusion, when somebody needs help, you help them. And for the love of God, the fact that somebody renamed Fort Bragg Fort Liberty and not Fort Benavidez instead is borderline criminal. Thank you for watching.
I
Best
agree.
way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at
Dude, I have
thefatelectrician.com.
chills,
Quack
bro.
bang out.
I have chills. Genuine
Oh, hey,
chills.
real quick. If you guys wanted more, there's a book called Legend by Eric Blim, all about Roy Benavidez. The author spent like 3.5 years researching for it, and he actually helped me make this video. So if you guys wanted to check it out, it's over on Amazon, and I'm sure it's on his website if you wanted to Google it too. I'll have it all linked down below. Thanks for watching.
After that PlayStation comment, I'm taking these back.
Come on. That's not funny. I want those.
No.
They locked me in our staging area and started unloading, started identifying the bodies. They found out I loaded 3 dead enemy soldiers in that helicopter. I didn't want to leave anybody behind. My mission was to recover the classified material, so if anybody had it, he was on the helicopter. They left the 3 enemy soldiers on the side, and because I sort of look Oriental, they thought I was one of them, so they let me lay right next to them. And they were putting us in body bags. And I remember that my feet had been lifted, and I was inserted into the body bag, and I could hear that zipper coming up, and I thought, oh my God, no, no. And I couldn't talk because my jaws were locked, and I could hear that zipper coming up, and one of my buddies was doing the Mexican head dance, and he was yelling at the doctor, that's Roy Benavidez. The doctor said, sorry, there's nothing I can do for him. I'll find out later. Jerry Cottenham made that doctor at least to feel my heartbeat. When I felt that hand on my chest, I made the luckiest shot I ever made in my life. I spit in the doctor's face. You know, there's a saying among us veterans, for those that had fought for it, life has a special flavor. The protected will never know. You have never lived till you almost died. And it is us veterans that pray for peace most of all, especially the wounded, because we have to suffer the wounds of war. I'm asked hundreds of times, would you do it over again? In my 25 years in the military, I feel like I've been overpaid for the service to my country. There'll never be enough paper to print the money, nor enough gold in Fort Knox for me to have to keep from doing what I did. I'm proud to be an American, and I'm even prouder that I've earned the privilege to wear the Green Beret. I live by the motto of duty, honor, country. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. That was a beautiful story. Truly, absolutely, such a legend, first off. So, to fight so hard for his soldiers, fight for his friends, fight for this country, that is beautiful. But then, on top of it all, and this is one thing that I will always say, and one thing that I always will do, I always believe that we should fight for veterans to be able to have as much as they can after their service is done. Truly, I do. They have given up so much for us. The least we can do is to make sure that they have comfortable lives when they come back from the war. Duty, honor, and country. I also think it's so ridiculous that they weren't wanting to give him the medal for so long. Like, this is what I say. This is why I say I think a lot of government and politicians and stuff like that, I don't care what side you're on, so many government politicians are so out of touch, they don't understand what it means to be a regular civilian, let alone to be a soldier that went through all that, you know? And I love that Roy continued, even after all is said and done, he continued to fight for his fellow man. He helped another person out. When a person needed help, he helped them. That is one of the strongest men that I've ever seen. Sincerely, thank you so much, Roy. I'm so grateful that you guys told me to watch this video. I have massive amounts of respect for him. And this was during the Vietnam times where most of the US was against Vietnam soldiers and he still fought. The Hacksaw Ridge Guy unit video is the old age and treachery. I'm gonna have to watch that the next time. The mean Mexican, y'all. I'm so damn humbled, yeah. Just FYI, Fort Liberty is back to being Fort Bragg. That's good. Honestly, I'm glad they changed the name back to Fort Bragg. If Benavides gets a fort named for him, it should be a brand new base. Oh, wait, I know the PlayStation comment he said on unsubscribe. Good kitty tastes like the heat off the back of a PlayStation. I don't know what any of that means. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest, I don't know what any of that means. But that was such a good video. Thank you guys so much. And again, shout out to all of our members in service right now, all of our members in service that are no longer in service, to every fallen soldier that we've had. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. You guys are in my prayers always, and your families as well. Please be safe wherever you guys are, wherever you guys are going. I love you guys. Sweet Summer Child Day. Pixie posted in general, I always give Roy's book a shout out. Thank you. To every brother and sister. Please just be safe out there, guys. I don't know what good kitty is. Good kitty. Hey, Tiny, did I already tell you that I just found out that I'm going to be an uncle? You didn't! Congratulations! Day, you have to watch The Greatest Rescue 11th Airborne. I'll have to watch that another time. Also, we are 11 subs away from 2,900. Oh my goodness, we're 11 subs away, guys. I mean, well, 11 followers away. We're 11 followers away from that. If you guys haven't already followed, make sure y'all follow. And from my heart, all you veterans and your families, you all are my heroes. So his wife said, I'm taking this back, the gun, for the PlayStation comment, which was, he said, good ussy tastes like the heat coming off the PlayStation. Oh! Oh! Is that what it tastes like? Huh. I wouldn't know. Yo, let's go! Let's go! But I will say I am pretty tired now, guys. Thank you guys all for an amazing stream. We are going to be ending it here. Twitch, if you guys could stick around for the raid, I would greatly appreciate it. But YouTube, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I appreciate y'all. But goodbye, YouTube. Haven't you dated chicks? Yes. Doesn't mean I slept with them. Thank you so much today. Of course, thank you guys. Thank you.